For the UK.
On the
It's
new
weird
cat
enough. I
phone,
just
right?
woke up like 10 minutes ago.
And we are live for another biddle, a special biddle.
Special UK biddle.
Yep, UK edition.
It's our international tour.
So for all of the UK guys that don't get to participate in the regular biddle because it's, you know, ridiculous hours at 10:30 at night and everybody's in bed, maybe they can join this one. Who knows?
That'd be
This is
nice.
their opportunity.
So I got amazing news. Amazing.
Oh my God.
I solved 2 whole problems this week
Uh-oh.
in 1 week.
Like what?
So you remember I was having space issues with Ubuntu Mate.
Yes.
So
Distro hop.
After talking about it on Destination Linux, there was a fine gentleman who emailed in, and his name is Sash, and he talked me through back and forth through emails, going through each directory that I had, and lo and behold, it was in the root trash. There was 8.5 gigabytes of space because he saw the root folder, and he's like, your root folder in the root drive is like 8.5 gigabytes of lint. That shouldn't be. So he says, let's go in and look. And so we went in and looked, and long story short, there was 8.5 gigabytes in the root trash, which you can't empty. You can't just, empty the trash anywhere and empty it. So you have to manually delete that. But once I did, I now have, I think, 11 gigabytes of space
But
on
what's the
my...
problem that would cause that to begin with? And by the way, we got Farron OS developer in the house.
Farron, what's happening? So, well, I'll tell you. Remember me talking about Audacity and how the temp folders were storing in the root drive, and it stores some, with the Destination Linux audio, it stores some big audio temp files. So I went in because they were taking up 8 or so gigabytes. I went in and deleted them, but they don't just delete; they went to the trash. The root trash.
Isn't there a problem
do
with
shift delete.
OS though? I mean, with the desktop environment, that they would have that issue.
No idea.
Yeah, if you hit delete, it just goes to the trash can. If you hit shift delete, it just deletes them without.
But this is
going
in
to
his
the
root trash can, so it wouldn't even shown in his desktop trash can. You wouldn't even seen it.
No, you don't see it in the regular trash can. I emptied the trash can 100 times and it doesn't affect the root trash can.
That's a problem with how the distro's installing.
Well,
what you should try, Rocco, is the new Farron OS that just came out, and maybe you wouldn't have that issue.
And Farron OS Lite, no less.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to put a link up. Zeb, you got a link for Farron OS you can put up?
Yeah, I certainly have.
Although I think I'm going to stick with Ubuntu Mate where I'm at because now I don't have the distro hop.
For now.
Yeah. Well, I said I don't have to. That doesn't mean I won't.
There you go.
That's what I figured.
That's the catch.
And the other exciting news that I have, awesome,
All right.
is that, remember I was telling you my Ethernet wired connection is way slower than my Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous.
It's because you were using dial-up.
So I was using dial-up. No, I had a Cat 6 cable, and the router's downstairs. I have a AC 3200 router, so it should have been plenty of bandwidth going through. But I have a Cat 6 cable, but it was 50 feet long.
Rocco,
So
I don't mean to interrupt you, but you're making English Bob wait, and nobody makes
Oh my
English
gosh!
Bob
Wait,
wait.
where's you guys at?
English Bob wait.
Where are you
We're on
guys
the other
at?
side.
We don't
I
have
was
the.
getting Farron OS's link up.
Oh, see, Zeb's got an excuse. You don't, Ryan.
I don't have. I don't have the right.
I already made you co-host, dude.
It won't. It doesn't show me.
What the? EB.
I mean, nobody makes EV wait.
Heyo.
Good evening. How are we all doing?
What's happening, man?
I am absolutely thrilled to get a text off none other than Mr. Rolf Zebedee Boss Harris. Say, "Steve, tie your kangaroo down, sport. Because Rocco, none other than Rocco, has requested your delayed, latency-ridden backside for an episode. How could I refuse that? That and the fact Zed also promised to nail me to a dartboard in his local for target practice for the team. I thought, I better get on it. Lovely to see you all. You're well. How are you, Daz? Dart? Rocco, lovely to see you,
Oh,
mate.
man.
Well, we had to have a UK edition, dude, because you know I know you make it to the Big Daddy Links Live a lot, and
Yeah, I love it.
I don't know how you do it getting up that early, but you make it there. So hopefully we'll get some of the other UK guys here, and it can be a big party.
Oh, hope
I
so.
should have
That's
done
what
this
we
from
did.
the back of my Mini Cooper.
Yeah.
Baron OS needs permission to post a link, but I don't see the
That's
option.
all right. I'm doing it.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Seb.
So lovely to see you all. So feel pretty sorry. There's a bit of delay on the headset. Where's Toss? Is he not about? Sorry. Lovely to do this, Rocket. It's just fantastic. Is Toss delayed tonight?
I
Sorry.
don't know. I don't usually I don't send out a specific invite to everybody. I just go live when we go live. So
Just to me,
I
because
hope
I'm
people
special.
like dive in. Yeah, fabulous. So I was hoping Michael would be here tonight because I really have had I've seriously thought of going.
your
to the Betty
dreams
Ford
have come
clinic.
Speak
true.
of the
Do you know
devil.
why?
Why?
Because there he is.
Mr. Tennell.
No, really. Oh,
Man.
Michael,
It's
I have
Michael.
missed you so much. May I just declare my wanton missness of you? How have you been, dude?
Oh, he probably doesn't even have audio yet. Look
You
at
have
him.
audio,
I
Mike?
just got audio like 2 seconds ago.
Okay.
Nice.
So
He was
basically,
just gonna don't. He doesn't have audio. I was like, yeah,
Michael, do you have audio now?
I do. Yes. What's up?
Really, you had to go and join us? Why? Welcome to the spicy UK version.
I was
I
gonna
assume
say,
you
isn't
didn't
that
hear what I
what-
said previously.
That's
Good
usually
job.
what we say to Ryan, but
Michael, lovely to see you, man. Welcome to the UK version of Big. Oh, sorry, it's Rocco's show. What is the matter with me?
It's all good.
It's gonna happen though.
That's right. So wait, I didn't finish my story.
Yeah,
So-
Cat.
So did you distro hop?
So
Is that the
I
story?
hold on one second. I'll be right back.
He's got a
Give me 1
distro
minute.
hop. Oh, he's
Oh,
upset.
you've upset
God.
him, Michael.
He's
He's
left
up-
us
No,
all
he's-
alone.
He's
You're
topping
4
again. It's
seconds,
okay.
You made the host leave.
Hey, Michael, check your personal Telegram. Rocco has something to tell you.
He's destroying the evidence.
Yeah.
He's destroying it.
I'm checking it. Rocco says you are correct. Okay, got it.
Yeah, I did destroy hop. Yeah. Michael, where you been, man?
Great to see
Lots
you,
of stuff.
Michael. You
No
have been so missed, dude. I tell you,
I
so
appreciate it.
missed.
went
haven't-
to
I
your
haven't been,
channel and turned on
I
notifications.
haven't made a video in a month. Yeah.
Just like radio
I
podcast.
went to your channel and turned on notifications so it would tell me when you were making content. And there's nothing for a month, and I'm like, what did he block me or something?
Well, I mean,
Well,
he does deal with you once a week, Ryan. I mean, it's probably enough for him.
I mean, I would be fine with that, but now I'm just like wondering where's the material at.
I've been doing a lot of stuff in the back end, like building out stuff.
No excuse. Hannah
So
Montana.
I've got I can give you this huge list of stuff that I've been making. It's really good.
Is it a Hannah Montana video finally? Is it
That
coming?
was pretty. That was pretty slick there, Mike.
Yes.
Yes,
is.
it was pretty slick. But wait, I got to finish my story, dude. So,
Yeah, Cat
like-
6.
So which distro was it?
stop it. So
harsh, but fair. Sorry,
had-
Rocco.
I had that Cat 6 cable, and it was a 50-footer, and I was only getting like 80 megabytes per second, and on Wi-Fi I'd get like 200 and some. So I was pulling my hair out, and I changed routers, I changed everything. So I ended up buying a new Cat 7 cable, and it's only 33 feet, and now I connected it, and I get the same speed on
Oh, is that
Wi-Fi
buffering?
or Ethernet as I do on Wi-Fi, 250 megabytes.
So is that
Look at
buffering?
you.
I don't know. Is it buffering? Shouldn't be.
Are you sure that like So does the 50-foot cable go down to something that also had like another 50-foot cable? Because doesn't Ethernet have like an about range of like 100 feet before it starts?
It's supposed to.
cutting off?
Everything I read said that the way I had it set up should be perfectly fine. So it went right from the router downstairs up here to the switch and then to the computer with a 4-foot
see.
cable.
Yeah,
And it
yeah, but
should have been fine.
guys, what Rocco is not telling you is that from his router, that then goes to the next door neighbour's internet, from which he takes a free feed. This is why he's buffering. Sorry, Rock.
Wi-Fi is faster because you're on your neighbor's internet.
Yeah, sure.
Dolphin, you going to join us or what?
You got
Dolphin, come and jump in, buddy.
You're pretty popular, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who's pretty popular?
You.
Me.
Dolphin's pretty popular. We got to get him in
That's
here.
what I'm saying. You got Dolphin in your chat and Farron OS Dev in your chat.
Oh, that's a
Telling you.
shame. Is it work?
Well, having Michael here is like the epitome of the ultimate, right?
Yeah, I have to say that is a big boost,
I agree.
without a shadow of it.
I bring all the attention.
Notice we do not say whether or not it's good or bad.
I almost made a joke about that song with the milkshake in the yard thing.
Hey,
I decided not to.
well,
Dolphin's at work, man. That's how much he loves you. He's
Right.
here even while he's working.
Toss. Fabulous. He's only just logged in. I thought the delay was in the UK. Please come and join us, Toss. You have to be able to answer back to this.
Hey, forget about it.
That's good. That's good stuff.
Do you know what? Being serious, I think Rocco and Toss have got the coolest accents on the planet. I can just imagine them both in the same yellow taxi. You know, I mean, forgive me. I'll go, what's the matter with you, huh? Wise guy? They're just so cool. They don't realise how cool they are, especially Toss. Toss is just so cool. He really is.
Is Toss coming in or what?
I hope so.
Being Polish.
he said he's running a little slow.
Come on, Toss. Let's get in here, brother.
He's on a UK broadband connection.
I figured it was going to be a New York thing, being stuck in traffic or something, but you know.
Hey, Michael, someone in chat just said they named you.
Hey,
So there's that.
Ghosty.
When you know
Yeah.
you're
Ghosty.
We've got to let him work out his video. and his work.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah,
Ghosty, what's going on, man?
Can you hear me?
Sure.
Hey, it's Ghosty.
Yep.
That's good. What's going on? Nothing.
no, just the
It's
same
what's going
thing.
on. It's a special edition for you guys. It's awesome.
It's the
It is
UK
awesome.
Biddle.
Very kind, I have to say. Although I will be back up about 3 a.m. tomorrow morning trying to catch the US one. Probably have
Yeah.
pins in my eyes. Do you know what I mean? But look, I'm going to be there. We're cutting it.
We got to have you there, man.
No,
Okay,
it's got
so
to
we're
be
going
done
to
right.
we're going to have a
It's got to
quick
be done.
vote as to whether Pseudo's going to turn up or he's going to cuddle with Mrs. Pseudo on the sofa.
He's cuddling. You know he's cuddling.
Straight away, Zeb, I'm betting my mortgage on it. You've got more chance of seeing Casper the Friendly Ghost than Pseudo the Meat Pasty reboot. Trust me. Not a hope.
The meat pasty.
And there's
Really
an update
chicken?
for you- an update
Yeah.
for you on our YouTube ban. Pseudo's channel got a clean bill of health,
Right now. Nice.
but they never turned his live stream back on. He's still banned from live streaming.
Wow.
So he completely deleted his channel with 1,700 subscribers and 178 videos, and he started afresh.
Wow.
What's that about?
That's rough.
Yeah. And I'm on day 3 of having a clean bill of health, and I'm still banned from live streaming. But I'm not going to delete mine. I'm just going to keep streaming from Twitch with worse and worse YouTube messages until they completely ban me.
That is really
Well-
bad, Zeb. I really feel for you, man. That
Well,
because I'm not being funny. Just imagine if your YouTuber got 1 million subscribers on, and like this show, you know, you're going to get a lot of people where it's almost a drug where you've got to have your fix, and that is just so unfair. And it was over nothing. It was over doing a test stream from OBS. Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
13
YouTube
seconds.
really needs to get a grip. You know what I
But the
mean?
problem
And
is
yet
that-
it's perfectly fine for these terrorists to post beheading videos on YouTube. No, that's fine. I mean, really? What world are we living in, really?
Yeah,
Well,
I bet if
they've
you
Not
changed
have
fine.
the rules
Taking
for
them down.
monetization,
you
haven't they?
probably talk to somebody on YouTube, whereas now, when you're just a little channel, I was telling them, like, every time I upload a Chromebook, Chrome OS or whatever, any video now, it's instantly demonetized. It's just amazing, and then you can't even do anything about it till you hit 1,000 views. So that takes me anywhere from 15 to 30 days to get that, depending on the content, especially if it's just
It's also
something-
more restricted anyway, because
Yeah,
it's not 1,000 views total; it's 1,000 views per week.
that's just to get it
Yeah,
reviewed,
yeah, yeah.
to get a manual
Yeah.
review.
Just to get a
It's
review.
turning into a complete disaster, honestly.
And
Well,
Well,
even on
I've got a completely different experience on the English Bob channel. Whenever I do a live stream and monetize it, it's automatically demonetized, and I have to request a review. If I upload an offline pre-recorded video, bang, monetized, no problem at all. So what is it? Because I've got Linux in the title? It's just weird. Weird.
Is that one of their words? Do you think that they watch out for in their algorithms?
Could be ghosty. It's weird.
Yeah.
There are keywords that will ping it and stuff like that, but like there's a few words that are commonly used in Linux terminology that is also used in other ways that are potentially flaggable. So
Mm.
Like
if you have-
Fedora, bad style, bad fashion, demonetized.
What do you mean offensive, Tux? Do you mean somebody could interpret
there
the
are
term
there are a
Linux
few-
is offensive?
There are a few
Okay.
that are offensive.
Fair enough.
And so, like, I actually tested it one time where I had a video where it was exactly the same as the previous video, and I added one word that is the name of an application that is also an offensive word, and dinged it immediately. Well, within about 20 minutes or so. And then the next time I had that same topic in the show, didn't you put it in the keywords? No problem.
Interesting.
Wow.
Well, I know
See,
on Destination Linux, it gets flagged. 90% of the videos get flagged automatically. As soon as they go up, they get flagged. And I will request a review, and they'll be within maybe a day, they'll be monetized again. But
Yeah.
even we made a 30-second video, maybe a minute video thanking the patrons for so anybody that becomes a patron, they see the thank you video. The thank you video was demonetized. It hasn't even been viewed yet.
What?
God.
It's not even posted, demonetized.
It's
Well,
like
I mean,
unlisted, dude. It's an unlisted video.
That one makes sense. I mean, your Patreon is competing with YouTube, so you're just automatically going to be.
Right.
Yeah, you're probably right on that one.
Down with the competition.
You've got to be like Mystic Meg though now to work out what is and what isn't going to get you done.
Before it was excusable because it wasn't happening to me, but now that it's happening to me, outrageous.
Sounds
How
about
rude.
right.
I did see somebody on YouTube do a video recommending that you should always pre-upload your videos first, and then if they get so like if you upload it on a Monday for a release on a Thursday, that gives it a chance to get demonetized, for you to request a review and for it to get monetized before it goes up. How on earth do you do that with a live stream?
Not
Can
possible.
YouTube explain that to me?
Rocco,
possible.
Time travel.
something you just said. So the video, the one I just released, was demonetized the second I uploaded it.
Yep.
I requested a review, even though it's nowhere near 1,000 views. It's still under 100. It just released a couple hours ago, and now it's monetized again.
Yeah.
Wow.
Weird. That's really weird, man.
Yeah. Well, at least you get somebody will have a look at your request for review.
But they're not supposed to look at it till 1,000 views, which is what I'm.
It could be an automated look. Like there's
Yeah,
times where if you get flagged and for demonetization, but you've been previously flagged and previously reviewed manually, then like okay, well they're like it's probably okay. We'll just throw it back anyway.
Here's what I think is happening. I feel every time I upload a video, within a couple seconds, it gets one person will downvote it immediately. And I think somebody is reporting it, like somebody who just hates my face or something.
I
just
can
keeps
relate
repeating
to that.
and then downvoting them because it's always one downvote and it's within 10 seconds of upload. Like, it's
Okay,
like,
I'm sorry. I'll stop.
please. I wonder
Ryan, did you see what Dolphin said in the chat?
what did Dolphin say? Dolphin. I'm dying for it.
They're trying to sponsor him, make him DOS Google.
I'm simply exploring the alternatives, dipping my toes, right?
I mean, it's in a way, it's kind of like not exactly an alternative, it's a derivative.
You have to forgive me on the video for
Still
not
Linux
having the
kernel.
chat right. I'm fixing it as we speak. So
It's Linux kernel with Google's crap all on top.
I thought that was Android.
Yeah, that's
Both.
Alfred.
Yeah. This is Gen 2 with all the crap, Google's crap on top.
True.
Yeah.
So Rocco, you are your 2018 resolution. You failed, but is your new resolution you're staying on Mate? Or
I can't fail, dude. If I didn't make it before midnight,
failed.
I'm sticking to that.
No,
I made the
Start
resolution.
therefore you cannot fail
That's
it.
it.
No,
See,
I thought you said he bailed.
regardless, it
Fail,
doesn't
fail,
count. It doesn't count as a resolution because I started it or predicted it or did a resolution before midnight and then broke it before midnight.
Hang on,
So
Isn't
it
that-
really doesn't count.
Ryan,
Just another day.
Technicality.
Matt, shh. So what was the real question?
When you distro hop it.
Are you staying with Mate through 2018? Will you make that commitment?
I can neither deny or confirm that. I am
How long
I am
do you
staying
think
on Ubuntu Mate for the present time because it works really well.
For this stream particularly?
I was gonna say, notice how it doesn't even say for the foreseeable future. Just
For the foreseeable future, yes, that's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna be on Mate because it's working, dude. Why do I want to switch when it's all just working? Especially now that I got the space issue fixed.
Rocco,
Like-
because it's you.
All right, good point. But still,
Toss is in the house.
it's all
Hey,
for your
Toss,
video, dude.
Toss.
I heard you guys are talking to me. Is this true?
There we go.
Yep.
We talking to you?
I'm having dinner, so I don't want to hook up my webcam. So
Oh, I got you.
yeah,
Let me
It's all
guess,
good.
pasta.
Can I
Close.
just say?
Oh,
Can I
close.
just
Pizza.
say, Toss?
I was gonna
think
say it's
you
either
are.
pasta or pizza.
He's
Can I
left
just say?
somewhere
Yes.
else. He's eating the rest of the horse for lunch.
Oh, Zed, really? Really? Toss, can you answer that with, what's the matter with you, huh? You're a wise guy, you're getting fresher?
Why you treat me so disrespectfully?
Because it's right.
Anyway. Hey, Heather, how you doing?
Mate.
Yeah.
So enjoy my
So
pepperoni
Rocco's
pizza.
all excited. He's got his 2 problems fixed.
See, that's what I said. Why do I want to switch? I'm fine where I am at right now.
Well, you have what,
You gotta-
Ubuntu Mate, right?
Yep.
Rocco, because KDE or some other distro is going to come out with a new shiny, and you're
Wait,
part of
wait.
distro
Did
hop.
you see Pop OS lately? Woo, man, does it look nice? Just saying.
Is it popping?
It does
It's
look
popping.
nice. Yeah.
It's
Heavy.
popping.
Popping, locking.
Heavy.
Sorry,
It
Rocco. Sorry, Rocco. So, Michael, pay attention. What's the matter with you? It's a UK stream. Wake up, get a grip, and follow the show.
I was
Look,
being
that's
respectful.
Thank you.
I was being
Thank
respectful.
you.
I was putting my phone on Do Not
What's
Disturb.
the
You're
matter
welcome.
with you? God, I need Toss's accent right now. Sorry, carry on, Rocco. I do apologize.
Man, ED puts everyone in their place, doesn't
You
it?
guys are unfreaking believable, let me tell you.
Right? That's what I said.
Fantastic, Toss.
And he's in the right place at the moment. He's right in the middle of us all.
Hey, toss
Yeah.
out that spaghetti, man.
Pizza, not spaghetti.
I
Pizza. Yeah.
Something Italian.
It's
Ghosty, what have you been trying lately, man?
What have I been
Distro
trying?
wise. Distro wise.
Well, I'm staying with MX17. I've been on MX pretty consistently since the end of last August, and that's working out really nice for me. I've been trying a few of the Community Manjaro spins, Manjaro Experiment with Linux Edition, and what's the other one with the really weird interface? Dad OS or something.
That's a
Manjaro Web Dad. That's one to look for. It's in SourceForge. That's quite interesting.
What was the first one you said? The Manjaro.
Manjaro Experiment with Linux Edition. MEWLE. That's quite nice.
What is that?
What does that mean?
It's basically just Manjaro with XFCE, but arranged differently and with a full screen app launcher.
Well,
which it turns out is quite stock for XFCE anyway, but it was new to me.
Wow.
Other than that, not really that much. Other than that, not really that much.
Tried Arch Merge yet?
No, not Arch Merge, no.
Play with that one. You'll like that if you're dabbling in Manjaro world.
Yeah.
Didn't you do Mayo as well? Mayo?
Oh yeah, make it your own. Yeah, the dev one, respin with OpenBox and a variety of different panel launchers and so forth. It comes with Tint. It comes with LX panel, XF panel. I think that's it. But yeah, that's pretty good. Offers a lot of scope. It's a little bit like OB Revenge, but with a Dev 1 base. Very light as well. Very light. Pretty neat. It's got
Check out Makulu. Check out Makulu Linux.
Makulu.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah, I tend to sort of try and shy away from a lot of the distros that have a lot of outside repos and different places that it pulls software from. And I know that Makulu does that, doesn't it? Like I don't like a lot of Ubuntu spins that have lots of PPAs by default and so on, because the problems that they give when you upgrade to the next release can be a problem.
I'm going strictly by the looks and the performance, and I was impressed.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah. Well, Shaq's pretty good with his theming and finesse, and he definitely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Someone wanted me to try a version of Ubuntu, but now it's called GoBudgie or something. I gotta check it on distro too.
Really?
Someone wanted me to. Yeah, I think it's a version of Gobuntu. I think. I'm like, okay, why not? But I gotta look at it. Yeah.
That was the in-house Google one, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was for developers and for associates of Google, right?
Oh,
but
yeah.
I guess now somebody forked it, or whatever you want to call it, and they're calling it GoBudgie or something. Yeah.
Oh wow.
I think. Yeah.
That's weird, but it's weird because they replaced Ubuntu anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Or are replacing it.
Yeah.
Debian.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, kind of weird.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Well, it's weird in the sense that their reasoning was so they could do more collaboration and contributions. Like, well, you could do that with Ubuntu. Like,
right.
Like, what was stopping you from that?
Maybe they got tired of GNOME. I have no idea.
Well, Debian's default is GNOME too, isn't it?
That's
the first option,
honestly, I don't know.
Very good point.
I haven't tested it. I know when I choose the net install, you have a choice of like seven types.
Yeah, you get a bunch, but I think GNOME is default, or either the top one or the first selected.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
DVD one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And of course, we know, EB, you're on Peppermint, right?
No, absolutely not. I'm on Peppermint on my main machine, but I am on a brand new, groundbreaking gamers distro.
Which is?
Linux Lite 3.8 World of Tanks edition. Oh, yeah. And it's rocking. Comes with World of Tanks pre-installed out the box. All your NVEX installed. It's fantastic. Oh, I've been on it all day. It's fabulous.
Really?
Yeah. So if you want to check it out, go to tuxdigital.com/Linux Lite 3.8 Watt edition. Can you do that for me, Michael? Please? I'm waiting. Have a little respect here.
You can go to tuxdigital.com/EnglishBob though. Like that you go ahead and do that one.
That is a real thing.
Can.
So there's a new tank game that came out I saw for Linux. It's Armada Tanks. Anybody seen this? It's like a massive multiplayer online tank simulation fighting game out there.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, looks good.
What would be better than that is if the tanks were cars that had rockets on the back and there was a ball in the middle.
Yes, that would be
They
awesome.
call it Rocket League.
Yeah,
No,
well,
call
no,
it
they don't
Tank
have to
League.
really call it Rocket
They don't
League.
have
They
to
can call
call
it whatever they want, but as long as
Just
it
not-
did
just-
that,
Yes. Just don't call it Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket Power Battle Tanks.
right?
Anyways, Armada Modern Tanks for those who are interested. You can go to tuxdigital.com/Armada Modern Tanks and take a look at them.
Michael, you're gonna have like 5,000 sub.
I didn't even listen to that one, so I can't make.
The new Google. You're gonna go to Tux Digital instead of Google in the future.
And in chat, Ferren didn't believe you'd done the English Bob redirect.
I know Ferrin's like that. He's like, oh wow, there really is a redirect. Well, yes, Michael did that about 3 years ago, but it's there. But then again, Ferrin is from England, so toss jump in here anytime, bud.
Yeah.
Well, what I was gonna say, I don't play games,
Here we go.
but no, there's a guy on YouTube from Ohio. I don't think too far from here, but he built. Talk about his thing. He built from ground up a replica of the Knight Rider car, kit.
Oh,
Nick,
wicked.
I think it looks wickedly sick, cool. I think he spent like 50 grand, and it looks like it came right off the show. He's been winning awards. He was on one of the local news feeds. I think his name is Chris Blasius, if you want to look him up. But the car looks absolutely magnificent. Beautiful, black, shiny. It's got all the gadgets. I mean, they don't do anything. They just light up, But
Toss,
yeah.
what was the car originally?
it was a
What were you
1980s 283 Pontiac Trans Am.
I thought it was a Pontiac. Yeah,
with
yeah,
the
thanks for that,
flip
dude.
up lights, the two-door solid black. Of course, it was modified inside and outside, but on the inside, it kind of looks like a spaceship. And he
Are they
did
still
it.
going, Toss? Pontiac in the States?
No. When they filed bankruptcy back in 2009,
Yeah,
GM
they were
had
bought
to-
out though. Yeah.
Yeah, they only had, I think, only 4 major car divisions: Chevy, Cadillac, Buick, and GMC. I think, as far as I know, maybe Hummer, but yeah, no, Pontiac is no more. But I mean, the cars are still out there. I think for the show they had built 7 of them because when they did those turbo boost jumps,
Yeah, about
Right.
wrecked them, didn't it? Yeah.
in some of the shows, if you looked at it closely, when the car landed, it was all real. The about back of the car, the front of the car, the frame would crack, But this guy, an amazing, immaculate job. He obviously has a passion for what he did, but he's been winning awards, and he was on the news. And the car, check it out on YouTube. Chris Blasius, I think, Blasius. Beautiful replica. He
Hey,
doesn't take it out in the snow or rain or
With
nothing.
a Hoff figure.
He's looking to get
Sorry,
yeah.
carry on, Toss.
No, he's looking to get like an interview or like a picture with Hasselhoff.
Who would?
Oh, right, with the Haas.
Yeah, right.
So didn't I read somewhere where a similar thing happened on the Dukes of Hazzard show, where they were more or less singularly responsible for removing the whole stock of that particular type of car they used for the show because they crashed so many or something. Yeah, the General Lee.
Okay. I believe it. I mean, they pulled out. I mean, the stunts were real, obviously, but outrageous stunts on the Knight Rider. Driving on 2 wheels, which is real. That can be done with the stunt driver. But the turbo boost jumps, there was always a ramp that was hidden, with the bush or something. So you saw the car just take off like a space shuttle. And they never quite showed you the full ending of the car landing, of course. So what they did, they took one car jump, and right when it lands, they cut to another car, fresh car that's driving.
Oh my god!
And it's like the Stephen King film Christine. They got through, I think, 50 cars for that one film.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's
And it
part of Hollywood. Yeah.
50 real classic cars as well. Criminal,
And the
brilliant
classics,
film.
he just shoves it. But I have to say, my favourite all-time, most beautiful car ever made comes from the United States. And I first got introduced to it as a kid behind Steve McQueen in his Mustang. And it is, of course, a 69 Plymouth Barracuda, which I just think is the most perfect car ever made. ever.
I thought you were going to say
It's just
Ford Focus.
gorgeous. The what? Sorry.
I thought you were going to choose Ford Focus as the most beautiful car ever made in America.
No, it's got to be a close second.
I'm sorry. What was that? Oh, there's a delay here. Sorry. Das, say again.
It's the greatest.
I think you misspoke, Das. It's Ford Fiesta.
Oh yeah, the Fiesta. How could I forget?
Yeah, in the UK we call it the Festa. Actually, it's more apt of a name.
If you like the Ford Focus, go and watch some Ken Block videos. That guy is outrageous in the stunts that he does. He did an absolutely brilliant one in San Francisco, where he was like leaping off of all of the hills, and as the car was landing, he was then doing 15 donuts before he turned left. Incredible driving.
There was the review that said the Ford Focus like regular edition is the most boring car that they've ever tried, and then special edition like sports version was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically it was just a different engine, but everything else was the same. And they're like, this is so.
And I think it ran Linux. Not I have no clue, but
someday we'll have.
Someday we'll have the self-driving car. Someday.
It'll be a Reliant Robin.
Oh, it's not too far off. But what makes me laugh, Rocco, is that in the UK here, we're just in the absolute throes of upgrading every road and motorway to smart motorway, which is going to take, I don't know, 10 years, right? Because we're only a small island. And by the time they get to the last mile of road, and great, we've done it. Everybody will be using drones anyway. You just get into a drone. You won't need a road. That's how bright we are here in the UK. You know what I'm saying? Oh,
what's the smart road, and what's that all about?
Smart road, it's twofold. Number one, it's for driverless vehicles. Yes, it's for driverless cars, but more importantly, it's for driverless lorry convoys. So we can have 5 lorries with a driver in the front, nobody in the back 4, and they all just follow in convoy.
So,
they spent millions doing research on these convoys, which was great. They missed one slight detail, and that is, can you imagine trying to join a motorway when 5 40-foot Arctics are passing by you on the inside lane? You're just going to end up a crimson stain on the side of the container, because it's never ending, is it?
Worse than that, trying to get off the motorway.
Well, they've actually done some testing that says that if every car on a road was computer controlled, that you could have intricate movements that are ridiculous level of movements where you would, like, a human could not physically make it work. Whereas the computer could totally set it up. So even if they're going like 70, the car could get to that position and just like jump right in position without having to worry about it.
I tell you what else is really cool about this whole driverless car thing. At the minute, obviously, everybody that I speak to are saying, "Oh, listen, that's weird. I could never do that. It's weird, right?" And this is what I guarantee you: within 3 months of the UK going completely driverless cars, we will all join on this show, be giggling, be having a serious gin and tonic, and Michael will sit there and say, "My God, do you remember when we used to let real people drive cars? How scary was that?"
Yeah,
seriously,
I'll say that now.
Oh my God, that is so scary.
The technology's out there already, because my brother's got a Volvo, and he can drive down the motorway and let go of the steering wheel, and if it starts to drift left, it will self-correct itself when the sensors recognize the white line in the middle of the road.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. The cruise control will slow down if the car in front slows down, indicate, overtake the car, and then pull back into the center lane.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
There's also videos of various different cars that have autopilot stuff that will test to see if someone's like coming into your lane, it will compensate automatically for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Crazy
It all
stuff.
runs
Now,
on
what kind of car was that, Zeb?
I don't know if that's
Volvo.
true.
Yep.
One of the latest, I think it's like an XC90. It's a big 4x4. Basically,
Volvo has it, BMW has it, Mercedes has it, and Lexus and Acura,
Audi.
Audi has one. Like there's a lot of the higher end cars have that built in, but like even some other ones that are coming in.
Das, I'm just looking on the internet. I'm struggling to find it on any level of model of Focus, Ford Focus Bud. Is Ford going to adopt this? I just a thought. I can't find Ford.
That's in the
Focus
2019 series.
Yeah, with cruise control.
It's the most beautiful car ever. If you can get your hands on one, I'll be so jealous.
Yeah, but you want the Focus only because you want to drive it yourself because it's such a great driving car. That's what Doss is saying.
The Focus, you get attention like a Lamborghini, Ferrari, Focus. They're all in the same kind of family. It's just you get, people will just start jumping in your car begging for rides. That's how it works.
Daz, are you talking about the Dodge Focus or the Ford Focus? Because you can't be on about the one with the blue badge, surely.
Using Google or something, but if you use DuckDuckGo and you Ford Focus, you get the images up right away.
Are you streaming from the Chromebook?
Rocco, how dare you?
Well, somebody did say that they were
back of the net. Sorry, Daz, you getting pelters, man. You've just been owned.
I was going to say, Brian, somebody did say
for themselves, Rocco. I mean, how can he make fun of me? I mean,
you know why? Because you made fun of me for so long because I used Chrome. Oh my gosh!
I'm not using Chrome OS to keep Chrome OS. I'm using Chrome OS to eventually put Linux on it.
Eventually, someday.
It runs on the.
But
Linux
you'll enjoy it while it's on there right now.
I was going to say kind of like when the next time Rocco with distro hop,
But anyways, let's move on to Rocco.
Yeah.
Be careful with the developer mode on Chromebooks, though.
Yeah. What is it? Sort of like Bob was saying about this, isn't it? Like you get like 3 reboots and then it says unrecognized operating system or something.
Yeah, but it's ever so easy to reinstall it. It's like 5 minutes. It's no biggie, honestly.
Yeah,
you got to make sure that you always
when
push
you
that
install
spacebar.
Linux on a Chromebook, not the crouton way, but properly via is it C-BIOS or something? And it's great. And then 2 days later, you boot it up and it comes up and says, "No, I'm sorry, you got to have Chrome on here." You think, what?
That's it.
So you go on YouTube and it says, "Hey, remove the read-only write screw." So you strip your Chromebook down, take the screw out, great, reinstall it all, boot it up, happy days. 2 days later, no, you need the Chrome OS on it, and it just twists your melon. I tell you, it twists your melon.
Yeah, that was it.
I'm gonna go the crouton route just because it's the natural progression of it. But frankly, the Chromebook with Android apps Play Store has quite a bit of capabilities to it I wasn't expecting. It's still not a full replacement for a desktop or your traditional laptop with Linux.
I have to be honest though, Daz, if you do a full install of your favorite Linux onto the Chromebook hardware using the C-BIOS method, the first time you boot it up, the only thing that comes out your mouth is wow, because it's like the ultimate. I mean, 150. Well, in the UK, 150 quid for a laptop that lasts 8 to 10 hours on battery, so you can watch all your Netflix movies and what. But you put Linux on, and it elevates it into a high-end Windows laptop / MacBook. Do you know what I mean?
That's what.
And it's 150 quid, and you think, wow,
Samsung, and it's incredible little power, and for what you can do in Chrome OS when you think about adding Linux to it. It really makes this one of it. Google is an idiot for not making that kind of a standard thing, because if you add Chrome OS and Linux together, it makes one of the most powerful laptops. When you look at the 2 million apps available within the Play Store Plus, and then you look at adding Linux into it where you get the full real desktop powerful apps, what an unstoppable force the Chromebook actually becomes. And that's what a lot of people don't realize, is that
it's already an unstoppable force. They don't care.
It would just be awesome. Absolutely. It would, for me, it would be the ultimate portable Linux device. It really would. It'd just be awesome.
But it's not. It's specifically for people who don't want to deal with anything. So it's what they did is pretty much what the only intention they ever have.
That's what they started with, but you never know where they're going to go, because I honestly think if you added Linux into this and had the option like Crouton has, where you could basically hit a key combination and move between the two, it would destroy Windows on a laptop. There would be no competition. Mac, Windows.
It's already doing it. It's already doing.
Do you know what,
market
Tuck?
share
She's
wise.
spot on. I was going to say, isn't Android on its own already destroyed Microsoft single-handedly?
Android and Chromebooks like are the most popular technology device bought on Amazon pretty much every year.
But you never underestimate Microsoft. That's the biggest mistake companies make is they underestimate it, and they go, "Oh, Microsoft's dead. We've already beat them." And then
When has Microsoft done anything good that other than their own like they have this platform of just dominance.
$1 trillion. How can you say they're not doing good stuff?
No. Yeah, they did good in the 80s. When is Windows done any Microsoft done anything?
Good in the 80s. They're about to hit $1 trillion. They're in competition
but that's based on the whole platform that they've already built, the dominance that they've already built, and Azure and all this other stuff. It has nothing to do with their product.
They obviously do a very good job at attacking competition, and they come out from the shadows of nowhere like they did with the Xbox, like they've done with the latest Xbox that comes out. They come out of the shadows and they win.
Yeah, but
They do, but
that's not
Can't do it
relevant
on mobile devices, though.
that's not relevant to laptops at all. Like the Surface Book is good, but it's as far as market wise, it's not important.
They just announced their new OS that's going to be more modular, and people are making fun of them for it. But I'm telling you right now, you underestimate Microsoft, you will lose. Google needs to come.
Except when Windows 8 comes out and it's garbage. Except when Windows 7S comes out and it's garbage. Except when Windows Phone comes out and it's garbage.
90% of the population thinks it's the greatest thing that ever hit the world.
No, they don't. They only use Windows because they're trained to do it. They don't.
And they think that's all there
Windows
is.
Phone, if Windows was so important and Microsoft was so important, Windows Phone wouldn't have been a complete flop.
Again, because people underestimate Windows, and they've done better at marketing than anybody else, which is why everybody sticks with them. So they win.
But my point is that
my
they
personal
have this
theory
platform. They have a dominance of decades, but other than that, they don't bring new things that anyone cares about.
Dominance of decades. It's not like they've sat still. Again, they're the first company, the only other company in competition with Apple to hit a first $1 trillion company. They're not sitting on their hands, guys. They're winning in a lot of ways.
Well, of course they're winning, but as far as doing new things, they're not. Like,
yeah,
they're
but
moving
what Ryan's point is not whether they're doing new things or everybody loves their new things. What the point he's trying to make is you don't stand still as a company and hit that $1 trillion mark. So
yeah, of course,
you're obviously doing something that people are interested in, regardless of whether you've had dominance in the last 10 years or not. Companies don't stay that way. If they're stagnant and they're terrible, they're going to go down.
Well, I mean,
they're not going to live off of their
when they
their
dominate
things
90% of it. They do stay that way.
I actually agree with Michael, because what's unfair here is Microsoft for decades have had an unstoppable wheel that goes round and round.
Why?
And then when Microsoft, because Microsoft
they have
got into
90%.
IBM, it was that it. It was that simple. That was the making of Bill Gates. He got into IBM.
Yeah.
It was that simple.
Okay, all right.
Now, at the end of the day, for me, what happened, Microsoft was fantastically innovative. Microsoft Windows XP came out wonderful. And then the worst thing on the planet that could have happened to Microsoft was that Steve Jobs rejoined Apple. And Apple showed Microsoft and the planet how it's done people in terms of innovation. And Microsoft never really recovered. Now, for me personally, what a lot of people forget is if you look in the UK, do you know who the biggest cloud rack storage server company is in the UK? And I was shocked when I found out. Amazon.
Yeah.
And what's happened, you've got lots of these other companies that are quietly
kind of the biggest period.
Google for one. Google are now humongous. And Microsoft have let all this innovation and bits and pieces go. Look what they did with Nokia. They bought Nokia and was going to relaunch the Windows Phone. Huge failure. They missed the moment. It's gone. Because Microsoft's wheel turns and turns. So you've got all these corporates, all these users. They're always going to stay on Windows and upgrade and buy. That's where all their dollars are coming from.
And Office. Steve, if you're saying that they have never recovered since Steve Jobs came back, where did that $1 trillion come from?
Exactly.
They haven't recovered their market share. They haven't because they haven't lost the market share. They haven't recovered.
They've lost bits and pieces to Google and Amazon, and all these companies are nipping away at Microsoft.
No.
And that was all started by Apple.
They're nicking away at them, but Microsoft is still huge.
Of course it is. Yeah, but it's always been huge, Zeb.
When
What we're
you
saying
start
is
at-
it's not
when you
getting
start
huger,
at
it's getting
99%.
smaller.
Yeah, but if it's still growing, if the money itself is still growing, they obviously are not
Well, that's
losing.
also we're going to talk about economics and inflation and stuff, and the money just goes the amount of money $1 trillion of now is not the same as $1 trillion of 20 years ago when they were first started becoming a big.
Yes, but you're also comparing that to the same companies that are around them too. Every company is against that. Every company has to deal with that same inflation and everything.
Sure,
So,
but I'm just saying, like the idea that they're losing money, like, well, no, they've lost millions of dollars on all kinds of different things. They just know when to give up on stuff, and that's good. That's good as a company to be able to do. But what I was arguing with was only that Dawes was saying that you were saying that these, not to underestimate them because they're coming out of nowhere. They're not really. As far as laptops go, they're irrelevant. When it comes to like the Surface Book, those are cool. Most people don't care. It's just enthusiasts and technology people. That's it. The only people who care about the Surface Book. Everything else they make, no one cares. The Windows Phone, just complete flop. No one cared. What the Xbox is actually not in the computer space at all. It's just in the gaming console space. And while it's at the top against this PlayStation, Nintendo just beats them every time they make something. Even if it's a worthless Wii U, where it's just an iterative thing.
What I'm saying is Sony underestimated Xbox.
Xbox
did
is
a
not the
failure
top.
on their launch, and then Xbox X came out and basically
They both compete with each other. Nintendo beats them every time.
A company that has nearly $1 trillion, you cannot sit there on your hands and go, well, we're beating Microsoft today, so we'll continue to. Google is a big company, but it's nowhere near the size, nor does it have the resources that Microsoft.
Again, but they're winning they're winning on mobile and they're winning on laptops.
If they continue.
And I'll tell you who the next $1 trillion company will be. It will be Apple.
No, the next $1 trillion company will be Destination Linux.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Well, yeah. The next $1 trillion actor, the next Rocco, I'm a bit short this week. Any chance of a $20 bill through the mail? Just a thought. Because you got these trillions now.
I'll send it through PayPal, dude.
Well, how do
Brilliant. Thanks,
get
Rocco.
millions? So, as a producer.
I'm on the ground floor. I got equity.
Here's the question: would it be fair to say that Microsoft in the consumer space is less relevant than it was say 20 years ago?
No.
Yeah.
No, I disagree. I don't think it is less relevant.
I think as far as innovation, they're continuing the same thing they've already been doing.
Like Michael
But
says, it's just the same old, isn't it? It's nothing new.
All their innovation is done from the enterprise and the developers and the development in the server side.
This is a problem with their reputation, but the fact is the greatest laptop on the market and tablet today is the Surface Book. Nothing competes with it. It is absolutely the best thing you ever put your hands on, but people hate Microsoft, so therefore it never took off. But it doesn't.
No, it's because it was super expensive. That's why people didn't buy it.
It was $2,000.
It doesn't take
Stop from buying Apple.
long to forget about.
It's not hard to
you know,
make
the
awesome
thing is,
laptop
though,
for $2,000.
yeah, but the thing is, Daz, you try doing mobile apps for Apple Mac using Xamarin on a Surface Pro. You can't. You have to run Microsoft Xamarin on an Apple Mac product in order to get it authenticated. What's all that about? And this is the little bits and pieces that we're talking about. So Microsoft can have all the Surface Pros they like, but slowly, bit by bit, they're losing these different areas of the markets. But because it's this huge company, nobody sees it. Look at Apple's strategy. Apple know that their sales of the iPhone are going down. So what do? They bring out a more expensive iPhone, which they know they will sell less units. But because they're selling it for a lot more money, they're still continuing to grow.
If this argument was that Apple was going to become less relevant in the market, I would be agreeing with you. If the argument
I don't think that's true either.
Love it.
What have they actually come up with? iPhone and Apple has become less relevant, especially with their laptops. They're getting more critiques.
Yeah.
This time they're falling off of all of the consumer reports and all of the major establishments that used to always rate Apple products at the top. They're
Ever since Jobs. Ever since Jobs
And-
died,
Yeah.
There's
Apple's
a lack of
They
investment.
Apple lost
And I
the
think that will
direction.
continue
Steve
to be
Jobs
the
was
case.
unique.
But again, you couldn't underestimate Apple because they have a tremendous amount of resources to spend, just like Microsoft does. And the biggest mistake people make, and I'm seeing it now in videos from people being created, like the Linux Gamer or whatever, where they're saying, "Oh, Microsoft just put the nail in their coffin," and blah blah blah. It's all
oh yeah,
hype.
that's ridiculous.
You don't realize how big and how much money nearly hitting $1 trillion in profits provides you, and the fact that you can have 100 missed products that sell nothing and still release 100 more and still have plenty of money left over to completely play. So the problem is people underestimate Windows. They think they're making big mistakes, and they've been making lots of mistakes that us geeks see. But what people aren't realizing is that the general public, who still download everything that every time a prompt comes up and tells them to download something, they click OK, doesn't really care about.
I think you're right, but I was saying that as far as innovative goes, Microsoft is done with making products other than enthusiast stuff and console stuff. Because if you look at their entire path right now is going to the enterprise, but more importantly, the server stuff, with Azure being such a huge push in almost everything they do. So like as far as like they're making money, but I think the majority of their money is coming from their services stuff, not their products. And I think
they're scared to death, which is why they're investing heavily in Linux to figure that stuff out. They're scared about it, but they've got plenty of time.
I'm not saying they're fine. We don't have to worry about. You don't have to worry about Microsoft. They're gonna do fine.
I was gonna say you can't say that Microsoft is gonna like run out of money or die off anytime soon. But I think a lot of it, Ryan. I think maybe I'm misinterpreting this, Michael. So correct me if I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
What he's saying is more of Microsoft's money is going to come from the enterprise end of things, from servers, services, as opposed to where it has traditionally come from, which was their Windows licensing deals and that type of stuff. Because let's be honest, the form factors that we have nowadays for the OS that is on the form factors most people are accustomed to are going to be not traditional laptops or desktops. They are going to be cell phones and tablets, and that is where the consumers, I'm talking consumer space.
Absolutely. Apple realizes
that is the difference.
Absolutely, but you've got to keep in mind that when a company has tens of billions of dollars that they could invest tomorrow in research and development, that their ability to come out of nowhere, much like Apple did, and release a product that goes gangbusters is tremendous compared to companies like companies in Linux, where their amount of money that they have available to them is extraordinarily limited in comparison to what you have with those companies. So even with Google, for instance, the Chromebook is great. My point originally when we talked is that if they put Linux on it, they would do better. The counterpoint was they're already doing great. Yeah, they're already doing great right now, but tomorrow Microsoft could release a product that could blow them off the market. They could do it. The Surface, frankly, is the best laptop I've ever used, period. It really is. The problem with it was Windows being on it. Once you put Linux on it, it was amazing.
That's why it's the best thing on
And
Reddit.
I'll accept that. Easy.
Yep.
So I just got one question.
Right.
Has anybody tried Pop OS?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, I have. And
This Windows user has, yes.
I don't like it.
Just saying.
Menu off.
Just saying.
It was fine. I thought it ran faster than Ubuntu with GNOME.
That's weird considering it's just Ubuntu with animation.
I'm not going to say it pops, but it's faster, yeah.
I mean, it's got a couple of things in it, but
Ghosty's a big GNOME fan.
Oh yeah, I love it. Yeah, I love gnomes as much as I love trolls.
The GNOME person, which is you,
I am a GNOME fan, yeah.
doesn't even run GNOME.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, that's because GNOME has identity issues right now, like with the system tray. and everything.
Translation. It sucks. Okay. All right. Got it.
No, it's actually
Nailed it.
really, really good. I mean, I would be running GNOME right now, but
If
there's
it
just like,
didn't suck.
yeah, if it didn't, no, I'm not going to say that.
if it didn't by default suck.
Desktop applications on Chrome OS, so they have a lot of similarities.
Yeah, but like for example, Telegram. If you run GNOME and you don't have the top icons plus extension installed, you can't see any. You don't even see a Telegram icon.
Yep. Legacy icons or whatever they're called, right? I think.
Yeah, I mean, okay. So when I game and when I'm playing, say, I don't know, Rocket League.
What's that?
And I get a Steam message, my game minimizes for whatever reason.
Don't feel bad because Alan Pope on one of my live streams says he loves Ubuntu Mate. I'm like, well, that's nice. Isn't he with the Ubuntu team? I know, but and he's running Ubuntu Mate 1810.
No, he's on the Snap team.
Oh, Snap. Okay, all right.
Yeah, he's on the he works with the Snap team, but he's also a community team person. He actually was like the founder of Ubuntu Mate, technically.
Okay.
Yeah, because he poked Wimpy about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he created the first version of Ubuntu Mate and showed it to Wimpy, and Wimpy was like, "I can do this."
And he has.
Yeah, yeah.
Where you will use it.
Turn your mic up.
Okay, so
I was just going to say, Ryan, your mic's ever so low, buddy.
Oh, there you go. Is that better? Let me bring it closer.
Yeah, lift the screen up a bit higher.
You could do with turning it up.
Just about there. That's it.
But no, there's just a few issues that keep me away from running GNOME, no matter how much I love it. Like one is the system.
Why do you
icons.
love it?
Yeah, why?
Because the workflow is awesome.
Is it
I love the full screen launcher.
I think it's the opposite. I think it's the worst workflow.
Beautiful.
But
yeah, but you have to buy. Look, if you're going to use GNOME, you have to buy into the way they do it.
Yeah, okay. Here's the thing.
Simple as that.
Interfaces.
Okay, my question is mainly: is it just the workflow that you like?
No, that's just part of it. I love the way it looks very nice and shiny.
Except for you change the themes and you change the icons and every way you change everything.
I may change it, but it still looks nice. Still has the same.
But it doesn't look like anything. You change it to someone else's design, so it's like it's not it.
Yeah, right.
You don't love GNOME for that. You don't love GNOME for someone else's.
So no matter what distro I'm on, I always try to make the distro look and act like GNOME.
Okay, that's the workflow.
Just like I'm on Ubuntu Mate, where I have the clock in the center, I have my menu at the top left, I have a docky on the left to emulate the dash to dock.
But see, it's easier to customize too in Mate, all things considered. Without extensions,
it can be, but without if you have extensions, you can customize it really nice.
See, could you not just use? I don't customize anything pretty much. I put the panel on top, and that's it for Ubuntu Mate. It just works out of the box. No fuss, no mess, no cursing. Why doesn't that work? Why didn't the extension work? Why? It's too much of a headache with GNOME, in my opinion. So
that's are these issues the problem with the GNOME interface itself? Because surely there's some quality distros out there that would have addressed these issues, such as Antagos, maybe.
I don't know.
No, it's a GNOME problem.
Yeah,
we should be seeing more.
It's basically GNOME,
shouldn't we? It's
a GNOME problem.
It's a GNOME problem.
Yeah, it's a GNOME.
It's not GNOME and GNOME.
I think it's the developers thinking they know what their users want when they have no idea what their users want.
No.
But don't you think now?
Is a way different problem.
Don't you think now Canonical have adopted this as their desktop? Do you not think these issues will probably be addressed by
sure? No, they're not even sure. There's discussions whether they're going to actually fix the infrastructure problems of GNOME or not.
Wow.
Yep. There's some inner workings that people aren't hearing. And there's some issues.
They should have stayed with Unity, but no.
It's not that, I mean,
logistically, that makes sense why they didn't do Unity, but they should totally look at a video that someone made about using Unity on Plasma, and it'd be much better.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that guy would have been Touch Digital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ghosty, what were you going to say, dude?
Well,
you're going to say something.
GNOME, I think one of the enduring problems of GNOME 3 and GTK 3 and GNOME Shell is the fact that it's not GNOME 2. Everyone got to
Yep.
rely so much on GNOME 2
Yeah.
and love it. And
Well,
want it.
GNOME 3
And then
was
it just
such a
changed.
shock.
It just changed. And also, like you mentioned, Toss,
yeah.
the add-ons, the incompatibility between different versions of GNOME Shell.
Yeah.
What worked on the previous one doesn't on the new.
I think Linus Torvalds said it best. He says, "What is this unholy mess?"
Yeah.
Now, I know he sometimes speaks more than he or thinks words out loud more than he should. But I thought about it, and I thought, well, it looks good. Give it time. So I went with Unity because I thought it was easier. But I've given no time, and it's gone worse. Overall, it hasn't gotten easier.
I don't know. When I looked at Pop! OS, I was very impressed with it, and I actually thought for a second I could use this.
If I had to pick one, I'd go Pop. Yeah.
No. Because I'm
then
an
you
i3
realize,
user and I'm a member of Mensa, and I'd lose my card if I went.
Naturally.
Right.
Yeah.
The smartest guy in this room.
because
No, that's the worst thing I ever heard.
because he uses i3 and XFCE.
That's right. Once you learn the i3 shortcuts, you automatically become a member of Mensa.
Whatever.
Yeah.
He still can't get back to his wallpaper though.
No, I'm trying. That will be my new wallpaper. Maybe Carl can create me a Mensa wallpaper. Rocco, what do you think?
I'll take my iPad like interface any day.
You know, I was very intrigued with Pop! OS. I probably would run that on an extra machine.
It's the nicest Ubuntu I've run, but since they've killed the ability to stop global menu, I can't use anything like that now.
Yeah, they've killed it, and it's impossible.
Yeah,
for
that is a good shout, Zabia.
I can't have Telegram in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen and then have to travel 38 inches up into the top left-hand corner to get to the damn menu. It's just stupid. So when you got a big screen monitor,
the way that Unity did it was beautiful. Like I love the way they did it with the locally integrated menus, where the menu is in the window like you want it, but it's in like it's not there until you hover the title bar, then it's there, and you can use it like your normal window. When you maximize, then it becomes a global menu. That's fantastic, and that's gone. Yay.
Yeah, because,
well, you say that, but isn't it still here till 2020? Because it'll be supported.
No, it's not. They're not going to do it. It's the same. They haven't been actually working on it for at least a year and a half before they killed it. Like they were just kind of like maintenance mode for a year minimum, and they weren't. They're not.
It'll still get security updates and stuff till 2020.
Yeah, but that's like that. That's like but you're only going to use it on old systems. So like, unless you keep with the same old system for 5 years, like unless you're an enterprise company, like who cares?
Yeah, but there was also an article out there saying how they are making changes, that the desktop is moving on literally, and that Unity might not work as you're used to, is what the quote was, where it used to do these things, but because the whole desktop itself is moving on, things have changed in the inner workings where it might not react the same way as it used to. So yeah, it'll be there, but I think slowly it'll erode to nothing.
Well, there's another thing is the Unity interface, Unity 7, was based on Compiz, but it wasn't based on Compiz that people are aware of. Like there's a Compiz in the whole historical thing. There's been like 7 different Compiz like branches and stuff.
Compiz Fusion, Barrel.
There was even a merge of all of them to one, and then they just all died. What Unity did is that Canonical took over and forked Compiz that was already dead, and they made their own Compiz and removed all the worthlessness that Compiz had and made it much more resource efficient, made it much more getting rid of worthless stuff like the stupid Fire Mouse that it got rid of all that stuff. So it was a really good version of Compiz. Well, that's Canonical's version of Compiz, and that was only built because Unity needed it. They don't need it anymore. It's dead. Compiz Reloaded is not that version. They made their whole other version based on the previous thing that Canonical forked. So everything that Canonical made, worthless. So you have all the terrible stuff from the old version of Compiz, not Canonical didn't touch, in Compiz Reloaded. So Unity won't work on Compiz Reloaded. So they'd have to, whoever takes the Unity, tries to make Unity into its own distro, like Ubuntu Unity flavor or something, they have to fork that Compiz version too, and they have to manage that too.
Well,
I don't know how that's going to work.
speaking of fire mouse, Elon Musk is selling flamethrowers.
Yeah.
You know that?
Yeah.
$500 a pop, and they're legal. Amazing.
What are they? Do they run on a battery?
No, they're legal because
No.
they have certain.
Well, yeah, they're legal in the States because the length of the flame is less than 10 feet. Ooh.
Yeah, but
Then-
that's enough to get inside a bodega where the bloke sits dishing out the cigarettes.
well, he's
you know, he might have his
You know-
bulletproof glass, but you
Well,
find that flame jet.
you know
thing-
what his statement was? I mean, this is true. It's not a joke. He trusts flamethrowers before he would trust steak knives. I'm like, oh, of course. You know, all these houses burning down with steak knives is getting way out of hand. This has to stop. You know, steak.
I'm sorry, gentlemen, but only in America.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Really.
I was going to say, where's he from? South Africa?
Space.
He's lost his billionaire mind, I guess. I don't know.
If he ever had it, yeah.
Oh, wait. He's throwing in, this is for real. He's throwing in a free fire extinguisher. Good. Yeah.
I think Elon Musk is funny because he does things that are just like for the fun of it.
He just doesn't care. It's just like,
Well, no, he created the Boring Company because of a tweet he did. He was like,
because he was like,
you know,
this is a boring
no,
company.
Boring Company is boring through the ground, building tunnel structure.
Mm.
It's an interesting idea, and he did a tweet. It was like this, you know, wouldn't it be great if this was a possibility? You know what? I'll make it. Introducing the Boring Company. And then you're like, okay. And he I think he waited like 3 hours before he said, I'll just do it.
And he's actually done it. He makes a.
Yeah, he's doing it, and
Yeah.
he's doing it. He already is doing like the boring, digging stuff.
Well, he's building tunnels to test his hypertube loop or whatever it's called.
Hyperloop.
Yeah, Hyperloop. Yeah.
Yeah. 600
I mean,
miles an hour in a tube.
What's this guy going to do next? A free napalm launcher, and by the way, I'll throw in a couple of free tubes of aloe vera just in case it sticks to your burn job.
Right, yeah, right.
Really?
Maybe he'll come up with the real lightsaber. There we go.
I mean,
Yeah.
the work he's doing with Tesla is amazing. So
It
like, the
is,
fact
yeah.
that they're
You
making
can't
that-
knock him for that,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. No,
an
that's
affordable
That is
Tesla plus
outstanding.
the affordable Tesla car that they made, plus the Tesla battery system, the big giant battery that you put in like a company. You can just run or you can put it in your house and just run your whole house on that. Like that's amazing.
Yeah. That is good. And also, the semi trucks look really cool, don't they?
Oh yeah,
The electric semi trucks, they look so exciting.
yeah. Like they're doing a lot of cool stuff. Like he does some like eccentric stuff for sure, but like he's grounded in like at least he's grounded in like innovation and stuff like you know actually moving the planet forward. Like even the SpaceX program and stuff. Like that seemed like when he first announced it, like, okay, you're a crazy person. But now he's making like they're doing amazing stuff with SpaceX, and they even hired a bunch of NASA people who went away from NASA to work with SpaceX, and they're actually like sending rockets to the International Space Station and all kinds of stuff. Like it's great.
It's just I really wish
Good thing.
Tesla, for all their adverts, would adopt the Fallout 3 music. I mean, how cool would that be? Hey, want a trip in the wastelands? You need a Tesla.
I saw a Tesla car at the Pittsburgh, one of the Pittsburgh malls. I saw the Tesla car live there. It is real. They had this, of course, it's got that big Star Trek screen in the middle. The console, it is really sharp. Beautiful car.
And have you seen how ridiculously fast these things are now?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
0 to 60 in less than 2 seconds.
Well, because there's no gas, it's just an electric it's just
almost
electric
like
motor.
an
The
instant release,
torque,
yeah.
the torque is it's just, I mean, like it's instantaneous. It's
0 to
incredible.
100 in 4 seconds. And
Yeah.
a quarter mile in under 10.
It's like the real Knight Rider car with turbo boost, you know. But
This thing's a tank. It's got like 3.5 tons of batteries in it or something stupid. Madness.
Has anybody seen the Russians equivalent of the new Tesla semi trucks? It's from a Russian company called Kamaz, and they're all electric vehicles, and they've got all these gorgeous LED displays. But to fire them up, you actually need a good old-fashioned diesel Russian engine to get it started. and check this out. All brand new Kamazes come with a state-of-the-art toolkit just in case the user breaks down. It contains, wait for it, one spanner and a hammer. If it doesn't work, whack it. Great. Gotta love the Russians.
Oh, man.
So we've moved off
So
Linux.
speaking of Linux,
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry?
That's Toss's fault. We were talking about
Excuse me?
Linux, and he got us on
Yeah.
Elon Musk.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, talking to you.
Okay, well, I'm having a snack. Excuse me. But
Man,
okay.
you're still eating?
I'm having my dessert. I'm having dessert. Yeah. All this
Toss. Can I
Linux
ask you a
talks.
question?
Seriously, dude.
Yeah, but just speed it up, okay? No, sorry. I love you. You know I love you.
Man.
Toss, have you ever explored the idea of building your own distro?
To
I
be
can
honest-
just see now. Wise Guy Linux by Total OS today.
Yeah.
Install it or I'll whack you. How cool would that be?
I could.
You want to get whacked?
No,
What's
I
the
had-
matter with you?
I think you should
Right.
just make it. You should make
Yeah,
your
right.
own. Like, I don't want you to make your own distro because that's a different thing. But as far as pun goes, you should make a distro called Total OS, and the current stable version will be called Today, and your beta version will be called Tomorrow.
I like
Yeah,
that.
Pretty
That
cool. I
that
think
makes-
you do
yeah,
well,
that
Toss.
makes sense.
I really do.
I've made fun of the Hannah Montana because I thought, gee, why not Tony Montana OS, man?
Tony.
Make fun of the best
Say
distro.
hello.
ever. What are you talking
Say
about?
hello to my little extensions, okay? But no.
Every distro could be named after an Italian dish. You could have lasagna, spaghetti,
Yeah,
cannoli, you know.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. Well,
Mom
this
spaghetti
calamari
Linux.
installer, right? So why not the why not
Calamari.
the cannoli installer? Yeah,
The
right.
cannoli.
You making fun of me? Do I amuse you?
Yeah. Funny
Yeah, you
how?
do. Yeah,
Like,
you
Yeah,
do.
funny
usually
how.
to
Yeah,
make
you
you
do.
laugh.
Funny like a clown?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Tosh,
funny?
you got to do it. You just got to do the Wise Guy Linux, dude. Just
Wise
be
Guy
awesome,
Linux.
man.
Yeah, I'll have the
Wise
wallpaper
Guy
like a
Linux.
dead horse, you know, in bed. But yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, with half a horse's head in somebody's bed. You know, the
That's
wallpaper.
the
Yeah,
yeah. No, wait. It won't be the horses. It'll be half a penguin head. In the,
Yeah.
yeah. Cool.
It'll
Yeah,
be
it'd
just
be
the flap.
awesome,
You know,
man.
right. There'll be no head, but just the body parts hanging there. You know.
Or how about
think it'd
this
be
for
awesome.
a wallpaper? You could have, as you Americans call it, the trunk flicked up and somebody with a hose pipe in the back. That'd be a cool wallpaper, wouldn't it? You know what I'm saying? Hosing out the trunk there. Lovely.
Yeah.
Of course, it's a Cadillac, naturally.
And what do you call it? We
Ford
call it a
truck.
trunk. What do you call it?
Boot.
Boot, yeah.
Boot.
Yeah,
Boot and bonnet.
A boot. That's the trunk.
I know, boot and
It
bonnet.
is.
Bonnet's the front. We call it the hood.
You guys are freaking weird over there, man. Boot.
Yeah, because what's a bonnet? A bonnet's a hat, isn't it?
Yeah, right.
Bonnet is a hat.
Don't-
So you
don't
guys
hold
wear a
back,
trunk
don't
on your head.
But a hood is something that you have on your coat that goes over your head as well. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
but except the bonnet.
Yeah,
Fit the
but
trunk.
bonnet.
I don't have a reason.
Okay. Jeez.
bonnet's
They're both
what little
weird.
girls wear.
He's like, this is a 6-body trunk. I'll take the car.
Yeah. That was in the movie, right? Whatever.
Six-body
Yeah.
trunk.
He says, "Look at this. You can fit freaking 3 bodies in this trunk already. Look at it. You know,
3 bodies.
and a horse. Hey,
Am I still
speak-
rocking I3? Of course
Yeah.
I'm rocking I3. I'm a member of Mensa, Anna.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think the room's big enough for everybody in here.
Yeah, Ryan's head for using i3 is getting a little bit bigger.
Hey, man, I can't help it. Y'all can't figure it out.
Right. Maybe we don't want to.
What is the appeal of i3 over something, say, like DWM?
To show off your IQ.
Oh,
That's
right,
it.
right.
That's all.
no, it's. Well, I think Ryan likes because it's based off of Google and it works really fast.
This is not based off Google. First of all, you can't even snap windows in Google. It's the worst comparison to i3 ever.
I think I don't like DWM because it's like it's too basic. It doesn't and it's not innovative. It's just like a bare bone. It's like
it's fast. Yeah.
yeah, but it's like OpenBox, but not any of the good stuff of OpenBox.
Yeah, true.
Michael, I had such hope for you.
That we're talking about DWM, not i3.
Oh,
DWM.
okay.
He's like, never mind.
Come
I take
on.
it back.
Come
You're
on,
amazing.
Ryan, keep up.
Like, I don't like DWM
Michael
because
was
it's
my only support for
it's too
i3
basic.
before.
i3
Everybody
is
else
too
was
too basic, but it's innovative. So
There you go.
Yeah, and it's a lot more easy to configure, I guess.
Oh man, now I'm being called
just,
the Google lover in chat.
XML files.
This works.
it's more easy configured than maybe Xmonad.
I was gonna say we are calling you DOS Google now. I mean, come on.
I mean, that's because Carl made an awesome wallpaper.
And you got pinged with that about 100 times a couple of days ago.
I think with the i3 to answer the question, Ghost, is I'd say the reason why i3 is good is because of its tiling structure. You can get tiling with Awesome and Xmonad as well, but i3 is more of a pre-built structure rather than having to do. You have to learn everything that's about i3 and how it's built. But with like Awesome and Xmonad, you have to set it up yourself. So i3 is kind of like, I wouldn't say it's not like it's an introductory thing, because it is its own thing and you can customize everything. It's just it's kind of like, if you've never used a tiling system, a tiling window manager before, it's probably the better one to use because it's already structured in a nice way, especially if you use something that already has like modifications to it, like the way.
I've always found DWM's been really good straight out of the box. You know, I've installed it on my MX previously and on Ubuntu before, and just straight out the box from install, it's pretty good.
Which one?
DWM.
Oh, okay.
DWM straight from the repos, just as it comes, because you can switch from tiling to floating windows and monocle, they call it, and stuff, don't they? And it's pretty good.
And they're like, "Hey, I'm gonna install it on Ubuntu." I cringe, because if you're a new user and you just install i3 desktop and there's no pre-settings, you're not gonna know what's going on. You're think it's crap. If you go install something like ArchMerge, where you've got a guy with 3 years plus invested into pre-configurations and you use i3, it's a completely different experience. Now, once you learn i3, you can take the Ubuntu version and turn it into what he's done on ArchMerge. But if you're just starting, utilize something like ArchMerge or Manjaro i3, you're going to get a great experience versus just installing i3 on top of another desktop, in which
you can use Ubuntu. You can use Ubuntu with i3.
It's just any base, really.
No, there's a pre-made distro of i3 on Ubuntu.
I never knew that. No kidding.
There is?
It's called Microwatt.
Huh.
Of course there is. Yeah. And there's a new one coming out soon as well.
The distro project is called WattOS, but they have two versions. One is LXDE, one is i3, and i3 version is called Microwatt.
Does it require extensions? I hope not.
PECWM, didn't it?
They used to have something before i3, but they switched to i3 about I think like 2 or 3 years ago.
PECWM, yeah, that used to be.
I can have 6
I think
windows
that was the first Microwatt
into a single workspace, and then have another workspace tiled. It's amazingly proficient. The biggest problem I have is I also like to use my mouse with i3, and a lot of times if your mouse is sitting on another window, it creates a focus point based on where you move the mouse. And so you'll be typing things into the wrong window, and that happens. So if you use i3, you pretty much have to stay with your keyboard and let your mouse go, whereas OpenBox is more of mouse-based. It's kind of like the opposite.
Well, yeah, OpenBox doesn't have tiling anyway.
Yeah.
I think Ryan bought a Google mouse, didn't you? No, just kidding.
Oh, of course. Naturally, this is the new Google Chrome mouse by Zowie FK2.
But if you do ArchMerge, you can have ArchMerge comes with XFCE, i3, and OpenBox all installed, so you can try either one of them.
Try i3. I think the best iteration of i3 is ArchMerge, because number one, he's done incredible amount of customization to it. Number two, you can always boot into XFCE, and he has a beautiful customization.
XFCE is absolutely awesome in ArchMerge.
Yeah, the guy's just he's incredible, the work he's done in those two platforms. That's why we talked about in the last bit getting Dolphin and Arch together into one would be getting those two guys together to create a custom distro or customize apps would be incredible because they both do some of the best customization on the planet, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. Can't hear you, Steve.
So, speaking of why plasma is the best DE.
Wow.
Oh, come on.
I was waiting.
Matt's like, I was waiting.
He does it every stream.
What are you talking about? I waited until everyone was not talking. Then
Tell
I
us about Discovery. We love it.
Yeah, but
Whoa.
Tell us about the improvements in Discover to not make it a train wreck.
Yeah.
A hot mess.
How's that going?
Wait, all I got is one question, Michael. Do you use Discover?
Yeah, do you?
To install software. Personally, you use it as your main software center to install software.
You're like, it's so quick and fast.
There's no answer to that.
So, okay, first you asked one question and then you changed it to a different question.
Okay, I didn't ask you if you ever used it.
No, I mean, do you use it? Do you use it consistently? Yes. To install software? No.
Because it doesn't work.
No, I will give this. I'm telling you, when we did the interview, afterwards they released a patch, and I'm not saying the two are related. I'm just saying that's an occurrence that happened. We did the interview, KDE. They released a patch for Discover. The Discover was incredibly more.
It's funny that they called it that. Nobody uses it. Call it Plasma Obscure.
I really like it. I really like it.
Discover is like the potential, the concept of Discover is fantastic. Having an app center that has not only does it have like actual apps, but it also has the desktop add-ons and widgets and stuff like that all built into it. Themes built in, all kinds. Like it's a great concept. It's just not ready. It's actually I mean, as far as the 5.11 version, it's not ready. The 5.12 version is actually surprisingly good and like it's way better than the 5.11 version.
I agree.
And technically, it's not 5.11. I'm calling it that. It's like 17.
Well, nothing beats the Synaptic Package Manager to install.
18.1 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Tons of stuff beat that. Trying to learn. It's easier to teach people how to use a terminal than it is Synaptic because you have to teach. Yes, it's a GUI, but you still have to find the package. Well, what if the package has like 4 different versions? What's this debug version? What's this source version? I have to check this box. Now I have to click install, but I can't do it in a queue. I have to do it individually.
If I was going to do a Linux Sucks episode, it would be solely focused on one area, and that's the software stores. That's where Linux is the weakest, period.
Well, maybe the future is snaps.
Maybe the best.
There's a new Snap Skype, well, maybe that's the future. Yeah,
that's official.
I think Snaps is the most likely to be the format, the dominant format in the future.
Yeah,
you're wrong. Electron.
That's not. That's a framework that you can build
I
snaps
don't care.
on.
You're wrong. Electron.
You can make Electron snaps. They're already
Electron. That sounds like the next Transformers movie, man. Electron. But
the thing I don't like about snaps is these stupid file system things, these loops or whatever they call
No. There was a thing on Reddit about that. Who cares? Other than you seeing it in your file manager, when do you see it?
I use my file manager a lot.
When you run the mount command.
What are you talking about?
I was thinking the same thing, Zeb. I use my file manager.
No. I'm saying the solution is don't see it in the file manager. No one would care. There's some people who would have a problem with the mount command. They're like, oh, there's a ton of stuff in my mount command. Who uses their mount command without grepping it first? Because if you're going to use the mount command, you already know how to grep the output because otherwise the output is just excessive anyway. So like, yeah, it adds a bunch of loop devices, but who cares? Just make Snap loop devices not show in the file manager. No one would care.
Well, if you can, and I can't do that as a user, can I? They have to do it.
Yeah, but they're going to do it anyway.
Is there a difference between Snap and an app image?
Well, there's a huge difference.
Yeah, one
massive difference.
It's what I'm sorry because I don't quite understand. Okay, so what's the difference briefly? Because I really don't know.
He said briefly, Michael.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well I'm out.
Okay, I give you 10 minutes.
Okay, the quick point is that snaps are like they're like an extension of Deb's ideas, like the extension of the repository. It's still a repository, still has auto updates, but it also has confinement, and it also has dependency structure and a lot of things in like. So it's kind of like.
But it's one package. It's all self-contained for a snap, right?
No,
it's not.
Oh. No.
Okay.
So like AppImages aren't either. That's why it's like none of them technically are. None of them technically are.
Okay.
But the idea is that you take the snap is taking the existing concept and then improving it by adding some containerization aspects to it and some better management of updates and security patches. So like that's kind of what snaps are. AppImages are a self-contained individual file that has the majority of what it needs. But if your content is on, if it has dependencies that your system can provide, it will use those instead. So like there's a lot of things that are not included in the AppImage on purpose because like 90% or even more distros will have that particular package installed. So they'll just use that version instead.
So it sounds like, if I got this right, both the snap package and the AppImage, when you download that to install it or to run, because you're not really installing anything, right? With the snap or app?
You are.
You are? Okay.
With the AppImages, you're not installing anything. With the snap, you are, but it's installing in a different way.
Okay. All righty. And all right. So app, you're not installing. Snap, you are.
Right. And AppImages, you don't have to install, but you're kind of installing like a little bit of something because it does use your home folder to store your configs and your settings. It does.
But it still
desktop files.
Right. I think once you download the AppImage, you have to right-click properties, allow permissions or something to execute it.
You have to get executing, yeah. You have to give it executable permissions.
And if I recall,
permissions, but it still does other things.
Okay. And they both pretty much have all the dependencies that you need, right? There's nothing extra to like download, right?
Right. They don't require you to install anything extra. They either include it by default or they use a dependency of your system to do it.
Okay. All right.
The same thing with Flatpaks. Well, that's not true because Flatpaks require runtimes. But other than that, yes.
Okay. So which is better?
I would say right now, AppImages are easy to use by most people. Okay. I would say that, well, except for the whole executing permission thing. But then snaps have the more potential overall, whereas Flatpaks, I think they're the third of the interest because Flatpaks have a problem with they require a runtime regardless, and they don't really have any alignment, and they don't care about anything but the desktop.
Well, the latest the KDEN Live version 17. Let me look at my thing here. 17.12. That's an AppImage, and it works.
Yeah.
It works better actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it's they made it AppImage because it's easier to make an AppImage than it is the other stuff.
Okay. All right.
And it's not really easier. It's once you have the snap built, snaps are easier. Building an AppImage in general is easier. So like there's a lot of different aspects to it, but I would say that the AppImages are easier other than the whole executable thing. Snap files are pretty easy. They're just as easy as a deb file, really. But they have things that are I understand why you were laughing, and it's very rude.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the chat. I'm laughing at the chat.
I know, but the chat is making fun of me. So
no, they're not.
I'm not even looking at the chat.
Google.
But,
Look, okay. Anna says he asked for it, so he gets it. That is directly to me. Yeah, I know.
Well, that one is.
That one is.
That one is.
Well, I asked for an explanation, and I got it. So thank you.
I don't know. I think that might be directed towards Ryan too.
Look at this. Look at the crap that I have to put up with. Tell Rocco, hey, I've got your back. I'm gonna come on the show.
Well, I think Ryan's Google app broke.
I turned off his video and renamed him Das Google.
No, it says on my screen, DOS, I'm offended, Google.
DOS snap.
But so anyway, the snaps are
they're the future. I think they are. From what I
think better. I think they're better. I can give you like the pros and cons of each one, but I think the reason why
we don't have a year for that.
But
fair
overall,
enough. But But I'd say the snaps are better overall because they have a much better security implementation, which AppImages have zero. They have a much better structure of updating system, which AppImages have zero. And they have a much better development infrastructure of having like a repository where AppImages does not. So like overall, AppImages are easier for developers to provide because it's the same concept that most users are expecting. Like Windows users, they get the package, they download the exe. Mac users, they download the DMG. Same thing.
So are snaps Ubuntu based, or they're just not really based off of anything?
They're made by Canonical, but they're not specific to any distro. They can be they're built to be everything. You do need snapd to run.
Right.
Other than that, it'll work on anything.
So it sounds like in the long run, just having snaps as a quasi standard, for Linux as it would be a lot easier.
Yeah, I would. The issue is, I think, in the long term, yes, snaps will be that standard.
Okay.
But AppImages are the
anyway, guys. Do forgive me for interrupting. It's very rude, but I do have to go to bed now because I have to go to work. Just before I go, can I say massive thanks to Rocco? A huge thanks to Zeb. Great shout out to Dart One. Thanks so much to Michael, the Digital Tux, for that wonderful explanation of snaps there. I'm just feel so more whole and complete for that. Thanks. Sorry, Mark.
Steve, when are we going to play Rocket League, dude?
Next weekend. How about next weekend?
Okay, we'll make it happen.
All right, and we'll do it, stream it live, and I'll try and drag Zeb in.
Okay.
And we'll see if we can have a bit of fun with that.
I'm waiting for a snap of Rocket League. Yeah, but no.
I want to say a massive thanks as well to Rocco. To Ryan Das Google. Thank you very much for joining us there. Another $1 trillion person we just can't do without, I'm afraid. So, my final shout out goes to the wonderful wise guy himself, of course, Mr. Total OS Today. So I'd just like to end on, what's the matter with you, huh? What's the matter with you?
Halfway through my Schwarzenegger. Good to be here. Good to be here.
Yeah. I'll be back. But no, seriously, thanks ever so much, Rocco, for putting all this together for the UK people. And I'll do my best to try and make it tomorrow night, where hopefully we'll hear a little bit more of an in-depth explanation on snaps by Michael. Can't wait. It's already in the diary. So thanks, everybody. Much love to each and every one of you. I'm sorry I have to duck out.
No, I'm going to explain Debs and RPMs.
Well.
Leave it to...
See you, man.
See ya. Leave it to a Windows user to be smart enough to ask the question, what are snaps and app packages exactly? So, yeah.
Well, there's actually
along with where's the any key? It's got to be, isn't it?
Right.
There's
All right, guys.
You know the askubuntu.com.
See you, man.
See you.
Much love. Cheers, all.
Yeah.
Cheers.
See you, Steve. The askubuntu.com website.
Yeah.
There's a topic that was like, what are snaps and why should we care or something like that.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
The answer of the most upvoted answer is from this guy. So, just saying.
Okay. Well,
so if you can check that out if you want to see more.
If this is the potential future of Linux apps, then it should be part of the discussion, right?
I agree. The thing on that website is amazing. The question was, what are snaps and why are they making them?
Something
and I was explaining like the origin of them and why they were created and what problem are they solving, because it is a huge problem they're solving. It
seems to me that they're more stable or have the potential to be more stable.
Yeah,
right?
But also the distribution of applications itself is the most awful thing ever on Linux. It is like app stores are annoying. Being a developer making software for Linux is painful. It is like digital torture.
Okay.
Because right now I have an application.
17 different packagings.
Yeah.
That's just one distro.
Yeah.
So we have this. We released a new version of an application for UGet for like a month ago. Well, not a month ago, roughly about a month ago. And it's still not in Debian. It's still not in most of the BSDs. It's still not in. I think OpenSUSE hasn't updated it in a long time. Magia, I think, is currently working on an update, but it's been a month, and it's because we don't have the ability to provide packages for all of these distros manually.
So it's confusing. It's
for confusing, but it's also like if you go to our website, it'll say, here's the latest version. Here's the version that is in the particular distro that you are using right now, and here's why they're different.
So to make a long story short, Snap is basically one standardization of packages. There's no A version, B, C. Okay, just one. There's not 17 of them, right? Okay.
There's different. You can the coolest thing about it is that yes and no, because you have one particular snap,
right?
But you can have multiple versions of that snap that you can request as a user, but by default you only get one. And what's really awesome about it is that when you say snap install whatever,
yes,
it automatically detects what version of what distro you're using. It detects what bit rate your system has, is 32-bit or 64-bit, and gives you the proper one. It doesn't ask you. You don't have to specify. It just gives it to you.
Oh, it's automatic.
Yeah,
wow.
It's automatic and is what it gives you. It's also automatic in the the update structure.
Oh man, great for a newbie. Awesome.
Yeah, it works with the apt update system. So
okay.
Right. Well, not really app specifically, but your update manager, you just say, "Hey, run an update," and it also includes Snap updates. Okay. It's fantastic. Like the infrastructure of what snaps are is really good.
Well, then that should be the future.
They're not quite there.
This is really fantastic. You know that.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
It is. Wow. Because it even works in GNOME.
Yeah, it does.
So fascinating. It really is.
So I got so
Michael from New York. Thank you.
Happy?
Hey Rocco, I think you're a pixel off, buddy.
You think?
Yeah.
I actually did get a new icon pack for my phone, but that's not important. It's not relevant, really. But
well, I appreciate it. So screw these guys, okay?
Yeah.
I agree.
Right. Yeah, I totally appreciate it. Totally.
Rocco's been renaming me for the last 20 minutes.
I saw that.
I was gonna say, says the guy who changed his name to Rocco Games on Windows.
Or Rocco loves Windows S.
I was watching the changes. I was hoping at one point it'd be like you would change it to Modern Life.
Yeah, I get that all the time for some reason. I don't know why.
I just love that Rocco got the blame.
Of course. Well, that's what Ryan does best.
That? Was it you, Zeb?
Every single time.
You ever see that scene in Braveheart where he gets betrayed by his friend and he looks in the eyes and he's just shocked? That's where I'm at right now. I cannot believe I'm betrayed by such a close friend.
All I remember that movie is freedom. Right?
Right. Except for you don't have that look of shock. You have that look of, well, this is normal.
Oh my gosh.
But what made it even better was Rocco forgot to change Does Google, so he can't do it to anyone else.
There, I changed it just for you there, Zeb.
That's a good one.
Hold on. We got to... there
so
it
they're
is.
coming out of the closet. Okay.
So wrong. Totally wrong.
He said, I do actually. It's his new name. Oh my gosh.
Seems like me and Michael are the only normal ones here. In this,
Yes, totally.
Yeah. Yes.
Mm-hmm. It depends on what you call normal, but yes.
Matt's been participating in an improper way too. I appreciate it.
Me and Michael have snapped, and you have not, so we're normal.
So, one question I do have though with this: does anybody know about what it means that Red Hat bought CoreOS? Like,
it's massive.
I know it's massive, but like, what is that to me? Like,
nothing.
No, I mean it's like
to a user that's not in the space of like enterprise or server based stuff. It's irrelevant.
Okay. So what does it mean to everybody else?
As far as people who are like in the server, it's huge. The server market, the container market is huge because there were basically the first people to ever create this structure properly. Like there's been containerization for a long time and virtualization and all this other stuff. But the first one to do it like in a marketing massive way was Docker. And Docker went fast, way faster than they should have. But they had marketing ability, they had branding, they had all this other stuff. So they went to the point where people just started calling containers Docker. And like, do you support Docker? Do you have Docker this, blah, blah. So they pushed hard. And then the first people to actually compete with them was CoreOS with like Kubernetes stuff. And the CoreOS structure was like actually pulling like the most away from Docker ever. Like so like the fact that the potentially the biggest threat to Docker is now owned by Red Hat is huge.
Yeah, because the biggest thing on that end is Kubernetes and all that stuff that they bring.
And Kubernetes is actually taking over Docker for the most part.
So they basically bought their competition?
Yeah.
No. Red Hat has nothing to do with Docker. Docker's its own thing.
Okay.
Yeah, Docker's its own independent project, but they were the first to create this like containerization push. And once Docker became like this mecca, which really quickly. Hello, Joe. Once they became like this big mecca, they needed a competitor, and CoreOS came out as a competitor, which was its own independent thing as well. And then when Red Hat acquires CoreOS, they are acquiring like the big player, one of the biggest players in the space, if not the biggest at this point, because Docker is still important, but CoreOS is like has a lot more attention because it's like Docker is kind of the people have seen the flaws of Docker, and CoreOS is trying to fix those flaws with the concept. And now Red Hat purchasing them is big for that space. So like
Joe.
everybody is going to be affected by it.
Hi.
What's going on, brother?
Not much. You guys
Or should we call you Michael for being late, or?
I didn't know you were doing it tonight, so
I was already late earlier.
I've been sitting here for 2 hours, but I didn't realize there was a bell sitting there. So
Well,
I would have
okay.
shaved and at least look presentable, but I'm gonna start looking like Zeb pretty soon. I don't know.
Oh, nice.
I was gonna say,
Oh, that's not a bad thing.
Anyone that
you know
goes
what?
after Zeb.
I was gonna say, Joe. At least it's not looking like Ryan.
Yeah.
I'm the only good-looking person here. What are you talking about?
Oh,
Wow.
Good looking and I3. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, no, good-looking.
Mensa and good looking. Wow. Jeez.
No.
How do you contain yourself?
I can't.
The hat and the headphones do it for him.
I don't think that hat's gonna fit.
That's why he can't contain himself because so that's why he unleashes it on YouTube.
I'm the only one grown up enough to grow a real man's hair.
Right.
What are you talking about?
Wait.
Take your hat off.
I mean, technically, actually.
Where you're going, just remember this, Ryan. Where you're going, I've been. If I showed you what I looked like at your age, you wouldn't believe.
Can
that.
you show us? I would love to see it, Joe. Because I bet you looked awesome.
Yeah, I look like the John Travolta
ZZ Top?
version, if that tells you anything. Kind of like Rocco combined with John Travolta and the clothing and the hairdo. Kind of that stuff.
Wow. Rocco plus John Travolta.
Oh my God, did I just date myself?
Yes, you did.
yes, you did.
You did.
Staying alive.
I bet you half the people in chat don't even know who that is.
Yeah, no kidding.
What are you talking about? Everybody's seen Battlefield Earth.
Yeah, that's a horrible movie.
I couldn't even finish that without laughing. Wow.
If I had known coming on here there was going to be insults thrown, I could have just stayed here. I got a missing.
I know, Joe. Trust me. That's how I feel.
I'm just kidding. What made you decide to do the UK?
Just be grateful English Bob has left, Joe.
Well, we had recorded Destination Linux early this week, and so I had got it edited. So normally today would be a recording day and an editing day, and because it was already done, and the UK guys don't normally get involved with the biddle because of it being so late, I figured we'd do one so that they could get there.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So you
You
plan
missed.
tomorrow
You
night
missed.
or just this one then?
No, we should be doing tomorrow night.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you missed the topic of the day about snaps, but you catch
Yeah.
it later.
That was so exciting, Joe. I
Well, actually,
almost.
Mike, could you do a repeat for us?
Okay, so starting step one.
Wait, before you
Don't talk about it.
Let me get my pillow first, because
see
get
if
comfortable.
Toss is in the room here somewhere. Adyen. You ever hear of Adyen?
Adyen.
I've heard of Ambien.
No, Adyen. ADYEN.
Oh, great. Rocco will be distro
That
hopping to
is because you guys have had conversations about funding sources for whether it be YouTube or whatever you're doing. And ironically, my online eBay store, that eBay is going to be trying to switch over to that. And apparently Spotify uses this company. I took a quick glance. It doesn't look horrible, but I just thought I'd throw that out there in case you
Yeah,
guys
they're moving away from PayPal. Isn't that fascinating? And they're
Yeah.
saying you're going to get less fees now because of it, so they're not going to charge you as much to utilize their service. But this is really an interesting move in the market because, I mean, first of all, the two companies used to be combined.
Right.
Now they broke off, and now eBay's using a completely different payment platform, which I got that same email. I think that's fascinating. And
Now, PayPal will still be an option, but this is going to be
right. This will be the default.
It just means 15 to 20% of what you put up for eBay won't be taken out anymore.
I know. It's a huge advantage, right?
I think the company's based out of Sicily, so they should be safe. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
I don't think you pay with provolone.
Actually, their headquarters is in Amsterdam.
Amsterdam, Sicily? I'm not familiar with that.
Me neither. I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
They just like the brownies over in Amsterdam, not so much the pizza and the pasta.
Yes.
So Rocco, Paul wants to know about our thoughts on Gaming on Linux Game of the Year awards. Didn't we? Did we do that episode?
I thought we did that episode.
We did that. You need to watch
That was the meh episode, wasn't it?
Meh.
You know.
Rocco and I had both had the worst weeks at work. Like,
oh my gosh!
Like literally before we started recording, I had a server failure and all kinds of stuff going on. And Rocco had a worse week, and so we named the episode.
Yep.
I got to tell you, your Destination Linux this week was really good, but you still need a guest on there to keep the checks and balances. Just kidding.
Oh my god!
Wow. Thanks, Joe.
No,
Appreciate that.
hey, you guys know I'm a huge
Really
supporter.
build us up, Joe.
I was gonna say, I think I just heard a bus go by.
Well, you should then enjoy this week because it's a guest.
Yeah,
There you go. I
it's a
enjoy
very
every week.
special guest.
I heard it's the creator of Snaps. Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael is on to talk about snaps for 2 hours.
So, Tux Digital Snaps. There we go.
Now you guys can-
Michael has been on the episode already.
I like when Michael's on.
I think we all are. Oh, wait a minute. No, not
Twice,
all of us
technically.
now.
Toss, you've been on before.
Yeah. Was it last year?
Last year.
Ever since
Yeah.
I joined, I was like, there ain't no way you're bringing Toss on the episode.
Listen, Das Google.
Ryan is like, not today, Toss.
Apparently,
Pretty soon it'll be Das Grumpy.
That's
I'm teasing. I would.
I know. And actually, me and Rocco did a news and nonsense last summer too. That was
Yep.
fun. Yeah. that
Yep.
was
By the
pretty
way,
cool,
I
yeah.
watched your episode, Toss. I didn't comment in the comments, but I was
Which one?
watching your episode where you're going through the news stories this week.
Yeah.
The latest news. Yeah, man. It was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, ever since I got my Alexa, sometimes I get some news feeds off of that in the morning or even at night if I forget, to turn it on during the day or say hello, Alexa. But what did I post today? Oh, some goofy thing from Nissan: self-parking slippers.
What?
Totally, I am totally serious. Nissan, for some reason, has created, like those Japanese slippers. But anyway, there's 2 wheels, a sensor, and a motor underneath the slipper that parks itself neatly against the wall.
When you said that, Carmine, the first thing that came to mind was a pair of slippers that got up and walked themselves over.
Yeah, right.
That's not
Well,
a good thing.
No, well, look, I consistently have a problem with slippers in the summer because I have a single garage slipper. See, that's the problem. But no, But yeah, no. If you do a Google search, self-driving slippers, and they're
Look, I picture Toss.
I
with
still want them to
slippers,
be the shoes.
but very similar to the Sopranos episode where Tony goes out to his driveway in his slippers and his robe. That's how I picture Toss every morning.
Yeah.
yeah.
Looking
No.
for FBI cars.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I wave at them every weekend. You know, they come by in the unmarked car, say, "Yo, what's happening?"
And then
Hey,
he hears
make-
a backfire and he goes running up the driveway thinking something.
Yeah, I know it's a shotgun, but no, I wave and I mean, one of the guys, his name was Tony. I said, "Tony, make sure you say hi to Rocco for me, okay?" But no. So
Rocco Prince.
yeah.
Well, I think what Paul was talking about is he wanted everybody else's thoughts on the game of the year voting and whatnot, because he heard us talk about it.
Well, let's pull it up so we can talk about, let's see, gaming on Linux, game of the year.
Is Rocket League #1? Because it should be.
It's not.
Well, then it's broken.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had some of my best lines against Rocco in that episode, and nobody's commented on it yet. The Garth Brooks and Dolly Parton line. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Classics right there. Classics.
Yeah, I want to stay listening to Dolly Parton.
No, those were good. Those were good. I just don't remember.
rolls. I don't need any other music.
all because I said I wanted to continue playing the games I like to play, like Rocket League.
You need to play something different.
Hey, did you see the news about the new beta coming out for Rocket League with the tournament edition? Yeah.
Tournament's probably is not the next beta. The next release, the one after that.
I can't wait.
Yeah, they're gonna be awesome. I mean, you can already do tournaments, but the tournaments are really confusing.
Yeah.
For all these different websites and stuff.
Well, I was saddened by the fact that Battalion 1944 is not going to come to Linux, but it's still a really good game. I'm just saying.
I've never even heard
How
of
would
it.
you know, Rocco, if it's not on Linux?
Because unlike, well, I can't say unlike you. I'll say like unlike Zeb, I dual boot Windows
Oh, man.
to game.
And we use Google to find out about the new updates on games. So yeah.
So go to DOS Geek and you'll see pure Linux content. Just forget about the Chrome stuff, but you'll see pure.
Technically.
Yeah, technically it is Linux content.
Well,
All right,
well,
maybe
technically.
I booted into Windows to play with Rocco a couple times.
He might have done that. He might have booted into Windows to play. I might have screenshots.
Just to hang out with you. I know you do. I know you do. The second I boot into Windows, he's over there. Print screen, print screen, print screen.
Speaking of Windows, did any of you see Charlie Brown's videos they put up of that Iron Sight beta, the open beta that he was playing this week?
Yeah, that was Battalion 1944, wasn't it?
Well, it looked kind of like almost like a Call of Duty type thing. I didn't know what it was. It's Search and Destroy or whatever. I've never seen that game before. It looked really good.
No, it is really good. I played it. It's out now in early access, and it's no longer in beta. So you can go to Steam right now and buy it for I think $14.99.
Yeah, I looked on Steam and I didn't see it come up. I don't know why.
It's there, and but it's right now. It's only Windows only.
Yeah.
But it is a Call of Duty first-person shooter type game without all of the extra perks, like all of the perk systems, where you got extra armor and all that stuff. It's just a plain shooter.
Now, how fast do you die in it, Rocco? Because I've played these games with you before, and you have a tendency to run.
Wow! Listen to this guy.
Let me tell you guys how Rocco plays the first-person shooter. He gets a sniper rifle character always.
Oh my gosh! No,
and
that's
then
not
he
true.
goes up onto a mountain 2 miles away.
You can go look at my EA Games profile.
No enemies are running, but if an enemy shoots towards him, you see him running as fast as it can towards the mountains. And
You
then
go-
he leaves behind for you to die. This is Rocco in war, people.
No, this is what I told him. See, there's DOS Geek. We started playing Battlefield 1. Yes, that's right. DOS Geek was playing Battlefield 1 on Windows.
I was on PlayStation, which technically uses Linux.
And we were playing, and there was a behemoth
Shut
that
up, Mike.
our team got. So right away, he starts running right next to the behemoth. I says, no, dude, don't run right next to the behemoth because that's where all the planes are going to bomb. That's where you're going to die. So I stood like probably, I don't know, 100 feet behind the
miles.
behemoth. 100 feet. with a sniper rifle and was just picking people off left and
You
right.
couldn't even see a tree. It was all blurred out where he was. It was right at the border of. It was right at the border where your screen goes red and it tells you to return to the battle zone.
Right. Yeah, it was that.
Well,
far
when I
out.
played Halo, I would grab a sniper rifle on Halo and hide in the in the trees like a sniveling Italian, sneaky and all.
Oh my god!
He was playing. He had a video up. I can't remember the game he was playing now, and he's trying to snipe somebody. He finally pulls out a Magnum and he's picking them off with the Magnum. He couldn't hit him with the sniper rifle.
Yeah. Oh no, sniper rifle! If you could hide, especially in Halo, man, it's so easy to pick. Aim for the head; it's a one-shot, kill.
Rock
Boom,
goes
boom.
so far away, he has to aim at the sun for the bullet drop distance.
I do bullet drop shots in Battlefield. I do that.
That's interesting. Okay.
All right. So, favorite fully open source game in 2017: Zero AD, Super Tux Kart, Open TTT.
Super Tux.
I thought it was OAD.
Zero AD.
It's OAD.
OAD.
Mind Test, The Dark Mod, Tales of Mahjong, y'all, Endless Sky, and Argentum Age. Those are the options.
Super Tux Kart.
Zero AD won with 94, and Super Tux Kart was second.
Yeah, I go with Xenotic.
Favorite FOSS project, which I assume the only one technical enough to answer that would be Michael. What's your favorite FOSS project, Michael?
Snaps.
Wine wins by 97. Next is Mesa.
Of all these particular ones, I think they're all good, but I would have to say my choice is a tie between OBS and Krita.
Nice. Best graphics for a game. This is a good one. What does everyone think? Hitman, Everspace, Dirt Rally, F1 2017, or Observer? Those are your top 5.
No clue.
I've never played any of these. I own a few of them, but I've never played them.
I've ridiculously never played Hitman before, but
you have played F1, and I think
F1 is awesome. Yeah, I have played Dirt Rally too. Yeah, F1's would have to win.
I was gonna say for me, it'd probably be Everspace.
Really? You know who plays Everspace? Isn't it Ike? Doesn't Ike play, according to his Twitter account, a lot of Everspace? I think Ike's on there. Let's see. Best story for a game. Planescape, Observer, Torment, Hitman, or Thumbleweed Park, your top 5.
I'm disappointed Rocket League's not on there.
Story.
Yeah, because there's so much story there.
What are you talking about? There's tons of backstory in Rocket League.
What's the backstory, Rocco?
That you hit the ball.
No. See, there was a time.
We're not talking about the backstory from the developers about why.
No. There was a time that the Octane betrayed the Merc. Oh, wow! Like,
So where's the giant?
It's a tearjerker, people. It's a real.
It is heartwarming and at the same time suspenseful, and
Okay, so see, as I came in so late today, did you discuss any of the rumor mill stuff about Microsoft buying EA and PUBG and?
I talked about that a couple of days ago, I think. Yeah, I guess their Xbox platform, sales-wise, is not up to snuff. There's talks about EA and PUBG and one more.
Valve.
I don't see Valve.
What?
EA maybe. Yeah.
There's no chance they would ever buy Valve because Valve would not let them.
What are you going to say? Considering Gabe Newell has been used to work for Microsoft and is basically giving it a giant middle finger.
Yeah, I'd have to go with EA. Yeah.
EA is big enough to not care.
I would fight them actually because EA is the one that probably give them the most resistance. Well, or Steam too.
No, Valve would.
Valve has always been about not being, but somebody enough dollar signs.
I think with Xbox they have only one signature game and that's Halo, but they release a new game like every 5 years. It seems it's too long.
They're the only ones going to have PUBG as well as far as consoles go.
Yeah. Oh.
So as far as EA, they're too big for them to care. Like there's no reason for them to do it. Like they have every sport. They pretty much have every sport title and they also have like massive license titles. Like they don't really. There's no reason. Valve, out of spite, would not even consider the conversation. And PUBG has made from an independent company that had basically no money, from a guy who had an idea, who built mods for DayZ, to go to like one of the biggest selling, most played games on Steam ever. He has no reason to sell. He's already made millions of dollars on a fluke. There's really the only one that has potential for them to buy is PUBG, but they already have a partnership with Microsoft in the first place that that allows them to steal freedom. So why would they care? Why would they bother? So like that's ridiculous. That's just some silly rumor stuff. The Valve thing is absolutely
Microsoft bought them, they wouldn't pull an EA and shut down the studio a year later. So there's that.
No, if Microsoft bought EA, they would probably close down EA, given their track record with buying companies later.
I mean, you could only do better than EA, honestly. I think Microsoft would be better than EA in the hands of Microsoft would be better than EA in the hands of itself.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I just don't think they would, because they don't have such a big market. Like they have such like the IP that they control is so huge. Like, they probably wouldn't.
I agree.
All right. So look,
the Valve
this is the special UK edition. So we've reached over 2 hours. So we're going to end this. All right. I'm sorry, Joe, that you just got here.
I know.
But, that's just the way it is.
I just got to get a better notification.
That's the way That's
okay.
Last word, everybody. Zeb?
I love Chrome. Oh, sorry.
Not your turn, Ryan.
Oh, I would like to thank Big Daddy Linux Live for inviting the UK to this special edition. Really, really appreciated it. I think both the guys who joined really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Well, maybe next time we'll have a few more guys from the UK join as well, because those two guys were awesome to get to talk to. And there's a couple other ones out there like Sudo and that I would love to get on as well.
Yeah,
and if you can
do it on a Friday night, you're competing against Mrs. Sudo and Cuddles. So I don't think that's going to happen.
You also have to tell people before like 30 minutes you do it.
Well, okay, but I don't normally have that a whole lot of notice. You're right. It'd probably go over better if I gave more notice, but
just even any notice at all. Just
maybe once a month.
What? I gave you like 20 minutes, I think.
Yeah, roughly.
I was gonna say you only found out because I told you.
Yeah,
I was getting there. I was just about to message him when he messaged me. Matt, last word.
Textdigital.com / was dark one.
Just dark one, yeah. Yep.
Okay. Matt, you're gonna have to get this right, okay? Because this has been now like 4 weeks that he's had that link up. You gotta flow with it, man.
I made a better one too.
No, he
made a better one.
Not an i3 user.
He used to have a dark 1778 one. Now it's just dark one.
No,
dark one. See,
it's
much easier.
And that'll be taken care of.
Yep.
Ryan, last word.
Chrome OS is Linux.
Wow.
That's technically true.
I do have this recorded, you know.
Yeah, I know. We're live.
And we're live.
Michael?
TouchDeals.com new website is actually coming up pretty soon.
Oh, I can't wait. Tell me more about it. Let's stop.
Well, okay. I'll tell you. It's going to involve snaps. And
Toss?
Let's go snapping.
Let's go snapping. Joe?
Yeah.
Keep living and loving your Linux.
Clive, you didn't talk the whole show, dude. Like, do you got a last word?
Hello?
There you go.
The first word.
Got the first word and the last word. He wins for the night.
You got a last word, Clive?
I have no idea how to use this thing.
It's all good. I don't think I do either, so.
I've lost the window. I don't know where I'm talking to.
Rocco, leave it up the whole night so he can never get off.
It's going to be a 24-hour stream, and Clive's still going to be there a couple hours.
He needs
later.
to download the Snap version of Zoom to make it work, right? Yeah.
Oh,
don't worry about
How do I get out of this stupid program?
My internet's not strong enough for that kind of carry on.
Right? All right. Well, hey, dude, the next time you're going to have to interject a little bit more, all right?
Yeah, don't
If I
put
get
with
this
Rock's
thing working.
crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't take anybody's crap like Ryan's crap, all right?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
All right. Thanks for everybody showing up. Last word for me, bigdaddylinux.com. Check it out.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, mate.
It's beautiful too.
Don't forget tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, Biddle Live, 10:30 p.m. Eastern.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I'll be in bed.
More Chroma talk coming your
Well,
way.
that's
we'll
why
be
we had
sleep-
this one,
yeah.
Clive. The next time, I'll try to give more notice when we have one for the UK guys. So
I plan to do This Week in Linux tomorrow. So there's something.
I'll get a
There's that.
notification finally, Michael.
Yes.
Yeah, you'll finally get a notification.
Yes.
all right.
Well, okay. Well, to be fair, I said I plan to.
But what time?
Yeah, what time, Michael?
The same
The,
time.
uh, They scheduled 1 p.m. eventually.
Eastern
So-
time, right?
1 p.m. Eastern.
Eventual standard time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Conventional standard time.
Yeah. 1 p.m. maybe by 2:30. He should be good.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll snap to it. Don't worry about it. But
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
I was gonna say, Rocco, you're being generous, buddy.
Yeah. All right.
Mike-
Everybody have a good night.
You too.
Wow.
Yeah. Night all.
Adios.